This program deals with themes of an adult nature and is intended for a mature audience.
The KTPF Community Talk Show is sponsored by Cregenhos Castle, South Wales, one of the most haunted castles in Wales. For more information on ghostly and ghastly events, including fright nights, all-night investigations and hen parties, visit www.mosthauntedcastle.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They've landed.
You're in the right place. Online, on the web, and on air. All over the world.
Talk radio.
You hear us, we hear you.
Yeah, good evening everybody and welcome to the KTPF Community Talk Show. For those of you who don't know, KTPF means Keeping the Paranormal Friendly, which we do each and every week here online at www.ktpf.co.uk. More about that in a moment. My name is Suzanne.
And I'm Steve.
And as I said, we are here to keep the paranormal friendly. For those that are new in the chat room, me and Steve started the KTPF back in 2007, and our mission was to try and bring the paranormal world together. In 2012, we decided to have a chat room with a difference, inviting you to engage in live, friendly discussions with our special guests and various investigating groups from all around the world, with a variety of topics from cryptozoology to UFOs, while encouraging them and you to share information, advice, and most importantly, friendship. Remember, collaboration, not competition. Although concentrating more on the investigating side of the paranormal, this show incorporates a wide spectrum within this fascinating subject. If you have any questions, you can use the live interactive chat room, where we will always ask your questions to our guests, or you can call in and ask them yourself. Later, we will have the rundown of this month's events from paranormaleventsforyou.com. And for those that are in the listening on radio replay, including Robert Bray and Chris Mack, you can also listen. Oh, hello, it's gone. Typical. I knew that was going to happen. Right, you better tell them. Let's try again. Hi, sorry about that. We are actually at the mercy of live stream and the internet, so hopefully it won't go again. Let me just recap. I don't know where I actually lost you. My name's Suzanne, and that's Steve, and we're here at the KTPF trying to keep it friendly and keep it online. Definitely. And as I say, we do normally...
I think they got the message anyway.
Did they? Right, they got the message. That's all right. I think it must have only just gone. Hopefully. We will be back. Just crashed. Right, so as I say... sorry if you missed any of that, but this is what the KTPF's all about, keeping it friendly. And seeing as there's a load of groups in there at the moment, we do like having groups on to tell us all about themselves. We've got Grey's Encounters. We seem to have a lot of them in there at the moment. We've got Ghost Rider 1973, yeah, Haggis 4.
We've got Kaz.
Hi, Kaz.
Julie.
Simon BPA. You know who that is. Nath at DTDE. Yep. Mank Hypnoman. Mikey 2011. So there's quite a few in there at the moment. If you're not in the chat room, why not? Come and join us. Come and join in the fun. I'm sure we'll get a few more listeners soon. As I said to you, please, we'll keep an eye on the internet. If we crash, we will be back. If you crash, then just refresh. Okay? As I said, we are actually... beholden to live stream and the internet, and for some unknown reason I'm nervous tonight. I know Haggis is. Hi Jim. Hi Ace Paradox, nice to speak to you again. But I don't know why I'm actually shaking tonight, because tonight
a few butterflies.
I have got a few butterflies because tonight is the show that should never have been.
It's also a show where you need to be neutral, and you don't want to be.
Sorry. Sorry. Yes, I will try and be as neutral as possible tonight, and but as a paranormal investigator, it's a bit hard for me to do. Right, okay, so forgetting the spiel, you know what we're about. We're just trying to keep it friendly, bringing the paranormal world together. And if any of you guys out there want to be part of the show, come on and talk about your group, then why not book a night with me on the KTPF show, and we'll record it and bung it out on YouTube so people know where you are and what you're doing. And don't forget, if Paranormal Events for You is a site where you can add your events, no prices please, just your website, and you can advertise on there, and all that's on there is paranormal events, so there's no looking between bungee jumping or somebody's jumble cell. It's all paranormal events. Okay, so let's hope that we'll see more of you in the future. Right, okay.
Yes, we've just had Namaste join us.
Yes, Namaste. Now there's a word. I think we're going to need that tonight. Now we've also got in the hub with us tonight, John Blackburn. Hiya, John.
Hi, Sue. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Lovely. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's been great seeing you as well. Now, oh, don't start on Twitter, John. For God's sake, I've got more things to worry about. I'll get the Viscount to do that. Good evening, Viscount. We've got John Blackburn here from Mysteria Paranormal.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been going how long?
What, in the industry?
Yes.
Well, I've been in the industry. Well, Mysteria's been going for about 5 years now.
Uh-huh.
I've been into the paranormal for about 12 or 13 years, something like that. I used to work for Fright Nights at one time for about 5 years, and then before that I was part of 2 private visitor search teams. So I've got a bit of experience here, there and everywhere.
And do you know Nace? Because he said hi, John.
I do, yeah. Hi.
No, DTDE, whatever that stands for. Right, now we're going to have a bit of a different show tonight. We normally have special guests on and talking about the paranormal, as in spooks and stuff like that, and UFOs.
Yeah, all the different areas.
But tonight is a little bit different. It's a subject that I've been keeping an eye on for a while, and I felt as though it was time that the KTPF done something about it, but help you lot get it out there. Okay. And I'm fine, thank you. Nath, I think I know Nathan. Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
Right, I think I know Nath. Do I know your partner? I've forgotten her name. What's her name? Jessica. Yes, that's right. I do know you. Nice to see you. As I say, tonight is a little bit different. It's keeping the paranormal friendly. Normally, I keep the whole process was to keep the paranormal friendly within groups, but tonight it's keeping the paranormal friendly within the members of the public as well. So something's gone on that I'm not very happy with, and as I said before, I've got to be very neutral tonight, haven't I, Steve?
Yes. Do you want to read that thing out that you found earlier?
I'll do that after you've done the observations.
The observation.
Yes.
There's not money tonight, because
right.
I think we're going to be very busy.
Yes. So what we're going to do is going to start off with the observations, and then we'll get on to the show in hand.
Which won't take long, because I've only got 2. I've kept it very down because I expect it to be a busy show tonight. So I'll put the links up before actually reading them, so other people can check it out for themselves.
Make sure you speak in the mic.
There's that one. I am in front of the mic, dear.
Okay.
Okay. There's the biggest gathering of witches set to take place in Exeter. Hundreds of witches have been invited to take part in a record attempt for the biggest number ever gathered in one place. The current world record stands at 765, but Jackie Juno of the Grand Bard of Exeter, Devon, is planning to break it with an event commemorating all witches put to death. No proof of witchcraft is required, and black cats are an optional extra. However, to qualify as a witch for the world record, you must wear a black pointy witch's hat, a black cloak, and carry a broom.
Okay.
So I think we can all do that. Jackie, whose role is to uphold and maintain the ancient tradition of the bardic chair, said there will be a short wreath laying ceremony to remember the last 3 women killed for witchcraft in Exeter. Let's bring this down. There we go. They were held in terrible conditions before being hanged. We'll also remember all those before them who were killed accused of witchcraft will then attempt to break the world record for the amount of witches gathered in one place. This currently stands at 765. Men witches are also welcome to the attempt, which is planned for August the 31st at Rougemont Gardens. So if you're in the area, guys, get down there and give them a hand to break the record, okay? And here comes your next one.
Okie dokie. What we got next?
Wrong button. There we go.
Just running through the observations before we start.
Just a couple. Amy Bruni claims that McDonald's is releasing a Ouija board Happy Meals.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Former ghost hunter and cast member Amy Bruni created a panic this week when she announced on her Facebook page that a popular fast food chain was putting Ouija boards in their kids' meals for Halloween. According to Facebook, the post from Tuesday said that she was excited about the new kids' meal Snopes reported yesterday. Amy Bruni claimed that the McDonald's was going to have Ouija boards on their Halloween edition of Happy Meals instead of the standard trick-or-treat bucket. Fans of Bruni were horrified that McDonald's would put a Ouija board in kids' meals. Although Ouija boards can be purchased at toy stores, many parents believe that the game is inappropriate for young children. So excited for McDonald's Halloween Happy Meal this year, Bruni said in the post on her Facebook page on August 26th. She eventually went to her social media page and explained that she was just joking about the Ouija boards being the McDonald's Happy Meals. Lesson learned, do not joke on Facebook that McDonald's is releasing the Ouija board Happy Meal, Bruni said in a Twitter post Tuesday. Hey guys, hi, this is a joke. Sarcasm, satire, hence the winky face and the clear ridiculousness of there being a Ouija board Happy Meal, and even crazier that I would ever eat a McDonald's. Okay, all done. Phew, good night, Bruni said on her Facebook page. Bruni announced to her fans in season 9 of Ghost Hunters that she won't be returning for the show's 10th season. She is scheduled to make a guest appearance on the 200th episode of the series in October. Former cast member Grant Wilson will also return for the anniversary episode. Ghost Hunters is the longest running series on Sci-Fi Channel, and Sci-Fi Channel's Ghost Hunters season premiere airs on Wednesday, October the 8th at 9. There's an update to this that Amy Bruni actually received death threats over the joke. On her Twitter feed, she posted, "True story, more than one person has wished death on me and or my family because I posted the McDonald's Ouija board Happy Meal joke." All I can say, guys, is get a grip. If you believe to talk to McDonald's and you know the truth, don't threaten someone as part of from the absurdity of it's actually illegal and could end up with a prosecution.
This is it.
Fancy threatening somebody's life over a bloody joke. Come on.
I know. it can get a bit silly, I must admit. So is that your observations?
It is. I mean, but these people are supposed to be fans of hers.
This is it.
Come on.
Right, guys.
Why would anybody be that
I just
stupid?
Want to acknowledge a couple of more people that have just joined us. We have Charmaine. Welcome to the chat room, Charmaine. Medium Sue Trenner. Now, there's a name that I've seen before, not in our chat room, but on another chat room in down south somewhere. And who else have we got? Julie, as you said, was there. Helen and Mark and Carrot One. I don't think it's Jasper though. Do you?
Can I say a quick hello to Sue?
Yes.
Hello, Sue.
So, right. So basically, tonight is a show with a difference. Hold on, what's Haggis saying here? Which I had thought, and I could have got her on your show, the granddaughter of Helen McDurkin, the last person in the UK to be cited as into witchcraft. Oh, that would be good. Maybe next week I will talk to her. Yeah, do that for me, please, Jim. Right, as I was saying,
not just for today, she says.
Right, as I was saying, if you just join us, if it goes off, please refresh the page. If it goes off to us, we will do the same thing. Okay. Now, tonight is a show with a difference, as I've said before. We normally have special guests on, like John, and other special guests like Guy Lyon Playfair, which is on next week, talking about the Enfield Ghost, and we've also had Ben Hansen talking about Fact and Fate, etc., and Uri Geller and people like that. But tonight's a bit different. Now, we always do say we like having paranormal groups on, talking about themselves and what they do and everything, and about their events. But this time we're talking about paranormal groups at a different level, aren't we, Steve?
We are indeed. Can I at this point state that we have been calling out for over a month?
Yes.
For the people in question to actually contact us.
Uh-huh.
It has gone on a Facebook page that talks about this, that we know that they keep an eye on.
Yes.
And to date we've heard nothing from them, so we can only assume from that they declined to make a comment.
Thanks very much, Viscount. Viscount's going to sort the Twitter out for me.
It is indeed. But I will point out, please, that when you hear what you hear tonight, although we don't doubt what they are saying, it is only one side of the story. So
yes.
Because we haven't got the other people in, we can't hear both sides. So,
I know.
Which is unfortunate.
And I've got to stay neutral.
Yes.
I'm going to start. I'm sorry, but I can't help but saying that I have got to stay neutral.
Right.
Just for the show.
Go.
Right. Now then, I'm going to start this with something that I found on the internet. Okay, just to let you know what this is all about. Compass Paranormal Events, now in its 4th year as a public events company, was originally started by Richard and Denise Mott, with the aim for taking members of the public onto the investigations of some of the country's most haunted locations to try and experience the unexplained. The project grew rapidly into one of the UK's fastest growing paranormal events companies in the UK. Now, Kevin Bowen, one of Compass's own mediums, alongside his wife Jan, this is what I found, whether it's true or not, I don't know, whether he was one of their mediums, took over the running of the company at the end of September 2013, placing integrity and respect first and foremost. They advertised by saying, "Dare you join the experienced team at Compass at one of the many locations throughout the country as we continue..." Right, okay, hold on there, Andy. As we continue our search into the afterlife. Now, before we go into tonight's show, I just want to emphasise placing integrity and respect first and foremost. Okay? Now, all I want you to do is remember those words, and then you're going to hear what you're going to hear tonight. Just there on Skype, you would have heard it go off. That is our friend who's going to be joining us for the entirety of the show, Andy Mercer. Good evening, Andy.
Hello. Sorry I'm a bit late, got caught in bad traffic coming back from my sister's.
That's all right, no problem. John's here with us.
Hi, John.
Hi, Andy. How are you, sir?
I'm all right.
Okay, so basically, we haven't started yet. We're just doing it now. So, did you hear what I just said about that placing integrity and everything?
Yes. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, and don't forget, as I said, if it goes, refresh the page, and we'll do the same. We are holden to live stream, I'm afraid, and the internet.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, at this point, can I ask that anybody that rings up or comes on the show tonight, even in the chat room, please, be respectful to yourself.
Yeah.
Don't bring yourself down to anybody else's level, because if anything like that happens, then we will have to cut you off. And we don't want to do that because we want to hear your views.
Precisely. Okay. We want it to be as calm and collected as possible.
Just the facts, please.
I agree with what you said there, Sarah J. But I won't. I won't actually say it. But what I'm going to do is we're going to start the show with an interview. Okay. So one thing I will tell you: when you do ring up, whether it be Skype or on the phone, can you please turn your speakers down at the time that you're on the show, because otherwise there'll be feedback. Okay. Right. I'm going to play this interview that I had. Let me just hold on. Find it. It just went right. Let me just put you in the picture. Mind you, saying that, I think most of you that are in the chat room are actually in the picture. Compass Paranormal, as I said, they've been going for some time, and September 2013 they changed ownership. Now we're going to learn a little bit more about that later on. But back in, I think it was April, somebody can correct me on it, they were due to go to Colditz in Strasbourg, I think it is. And the first time I saw any problem, because as a paranormal investigator, I was intrigued to see how it went on the outside view, because we'd been to Europe before, and Romania to be precise, and we were thinking about doing some other areas, and when we saw that Colditz was being done, we thought we'd keep an eye on this and see how they got on. Now, the first thing I saw was a forum note about a young lady who was accused of causing trouble on the bus and being told to get off if she continued, due to some money that had been missing from her purse. I don't quite remember the whole of the story because the forum was deleted. I didn't know that the actual investigation didn't take off. Okay, so as I say, Andy, you can hear the show, okay, can't you?
Yep, I can hear everything.
Right.
Right. Before you go on, can I just say that Colditz Castle is in the town of Colditz, near Leipzig in Dresden.
Thank you. Thank you about that. So at least that was confirmed. But not Strasbourg. Even Andy said not Strasbourg.
I was there a few weeks ago. Very nice place.
Oh, okay. So we're going to learn a bit more about this now. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start tonight's show with an interview from Danny Teague. We did a pre-recorded on this, and the first time I actually saw that anything really went wrong was from an online newspaper article in the Gloucester Citizen, which she dealt with. So we're going to talk to Danny, and if you'd like to sit back and listen to this. Okay, well, we've now got Danny Teague on the Skype with us, pre-recorded, to talk to us about the Compass Saga. Now, Danny, I believe that you put an article in the paper about your trip to Colditz, but had you been on Compass Paranormal events before?
No, it was the Compass trip was the first trip that I had booked with, the Colditz trip was the first trip that I booked with Compass. But no, I hadn't been on any previous event with them before that.
So what was you expecting from this trip?
A trip of a lifetime, which is exactly how it was advertised. I mean, all the things that they put in their adverts, it sounded absolutely amazing. Like a one-off opportunity, and it seemed quite a reasonable price for everything that they were offering as well.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm guessing, they sold out so quickly, because, well, I think they sold out within a week or so.
Really?
Yeah, it was quite quick, I think, from what Janet was saying to me about that. So.
And who's Janet?
Sorry?
Who's Janet?
Janet Bowen.
I think so.
Right. Right. Is she the lady that was running Compass Paranormal?
Yeah, alongside with her husband Kevin, who was the medium.
Okay. Now you knew these beforehand, didn't you?
Yeah. I've known Kevin and Janet for ever since really I started. Kind of, working within the paranormal, so about 2 years.
Right.
But obviously they only took over Compass, I think it was last October. So that's when we sort of become quite friendly. We talk quite often. They didn't live too far away from me either. So she was kind of someone who I would talk to kind of get advice, and vice versa, and just general chit chat about the paranormal field.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you've gone on this investigation to Colditz, and from what I read in your news article that you put in the Gloucester Times or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Citizen. Yeah,
the Citizen. Now, I believe that there was quite a few on there.
What, on the trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, there must have been anything between 60 and 70 people on the trip.
Wow. Was it that big?
Yeah.
was
big
Colditz that big?
Colditz is absolutely massive.
Really?
Well, it looked big from the outside, but obviously...
Right. And you paid £200 for this for 4 days?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it was from the Friday to the Sunday.
And what was the investigation like, Danny?
Awful.
What exactly happened?
Oh God, do you know what? It wasn't just the investigation itself. It kind of started from the moment that we all met in London to catch the coach. But the investigation itself was pretty non-existent. It kind of consisted of us stood outside in a car park, and the public is kind of like the front area of the castle, which people use to walk, to get access to the hostel, because it's obviously a youth hostel now.
Yeah.
The only area of the castle that we were allowed access to inside was the attic room, and that was it. Right. So for most of the night we were outside.
So you say this seemed to escalate and from start to finish. So what happened? What was the first chaotic incident?
Well, when the coach turned up, it became apparent straight away that it wasn't the coach that was advertised, when the Bowens were advertising the trip. So we were promised this luxury coach, extra leg room, Wi-Fi on board, a kitchen, working toilets, and we got a coach which had none of that. The toilet worked for about, I think it was about 3 or 4 hours into the trip, and then it broke.
God.
So, yeah, the toilet wasn't flushing. So you can imagine that was lovely, having to sit on a coach for all that time, it was just horrendous. But, so we had none of that. And obviously they just kind of explained it as though the coach company sent the wrong coach, which was absolutely fine. At that point, there weren't many people complaining about it because we just put it down to, simple error from the company that they booked it from.
Yeah.
So obviously that wasn't really the case.
No. Do you know anything? I read somewhere about a woman that was accused of causing trouble and threatened to be told to leave the bus because she had some money missing. Was you actually there for that?
Yeah, that happened when we arrived at the castle in the afternoon, late afternoon, for our guided walk. And the coach pulled up in the car park and everybody got off. And the woman in question asked to have her bag from the holdall underneath the coach where all the bags were being kept. And when she looked through her bag, she realised there was some money missing. So obviously she got quite upset and angry. And there was a big argument between her and the Compass team. So the rest of the guests were kind of quickly ushered off up to the castle. So I'm not quite sure what happened, once we left and went up for our tour, but it was actually on the way back on the coach, on the way back to London, where I believe it was Janet Bowen, started shouting and swearing at her to get off the coach and walk back to England. And this was actually recorded as well,
really?
By one of the guests
on
the coach, so you can actually hear you know, this poor woman being told to get off the coach.
Oh, bless her. Is there anything you want to ask, Steve?
Yeah, Danny. Hi, Steve here.
Okay.
Yeah, you said when you arrived that you basically just got the attic room and the car park. What was actually advertised that you would get?
It was advertised that we had full and exclusive access to Colditz Castle. So by that, I would, assume that you'd have access to the whole castle inside and outside.
Yeah, that's definitely how it sounds.
Yeah.
So it would seem it was missold from the get-go.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, well, it was actually advertised as well. I mean, the other kind of main selling point to it was that the accommodation whilst we were there was advertised to be inside Colditz Castle itself. So we were supposed to be investigating it and then being able to sleep there as well.
So where did you end up sleeping?
We ended up sleeping in a youth hostel, which was about 9 miles away.
God.
But we only found out a week before. Actually, I don't even think it was a week before. It was a few days before we were due to leave. But some people on the trip never even got told, so they only found out once we got to Colditz that they weren't staying at the castle.
So the £200 you paid for the 4 days at Colditz Castle, how much have you actually lost? Is there more than this, obviously, with spending money and stuff like that, or is there anything else on top of the £200 that you're out of pocket?
Well, obviously, I personally had to travel from Gloucestershire down to London. So obviously I paid for my fuel for that. I paid for parking at the station where we all met. And then obviously, yes, you've got your spending money as well. And the majority of us ended up spending more than what we probably should have, because once we arrived at Colditz, we were supposed to be getting a lunch. And all that consisted of this lunch was a dry bread roll, a sausage, and a banana and a bottle of water in a paper bag. So quite a few of us kind of skipped the guided tour and went into the local town and got some lunch because we were so hungry.
Oh my God.
And that was after a 12-hour coach trip.
Well, once it was apparent to everybody that everything wasn't going as it was advertised, was any offer of recompense made?
The only offer came from Kevin Bowen, which was about the refund for any hot drinks that we purchased during the trip to Colditz, because obviously the coach was supposed to have a working kitchen and hot water facilities, which it didn't. So that was the only offer of refunds we had. But as I understand it, the people that did put the refunds in never received their money back.
So is that the only refund they'd offered? They hadn't offered any compensation for the fact that the whole trip had gone completely wrong?
No.
Oh my God. Now, let's just say, devil's advocate, let's just say that they didn't know this, and as far as they were concerned, they were going to go into Colditz Castle and it had changed there. Do you think this might have happened, or do you think they know what was going on?
I know for a fact that they knew we weren't going to be allowed inside. I actually spoke to Stefan, who is the manager at Colditz Castle, when we arrived back, because I'd had a comment made by somebody that they had also tried to hire Colditz for an investigation, and they were told outright that they don't allow such thing and they don't agree with it. So I emailed Stefan and asked him, and that's when he told me that he had told Kevin Bowen from the beginning that they do not allow paranormal investigations inside the castle. So the only reason why we got access to the attic room when we did arrive was because the manager had 60, 70 British tourists on his doorstep expecting a ghost hunt. and he felt bad for us. But he then ended up jeopardising his own job by allowing us in and doing it.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, is this the only one you booked on, or are you owed money for something else?
No, I also booked tickets to go to the Newsham Park Hospital in September with them. But luckily that was just the deposits that I paid. I didn't pay in full, so
right.
Yeah, so it's only an extra £40 that I'm owed for that.
So basically, you've come home disgruntled. Obviously, you've got hold of the Gloucester Citizen, and given them their opinion on what happened to let people know. What's happened since then?
It's been horrendous. I've been personally attacked. I've been threatened by friends of the Bowens. It kind of makes it awkward for me because obviously I do work within the paranormal, and this is the main reason why I was so passionate about getting justice for everybody, because I know how things should work. And I just knew that what they were doing was just absolutely awful, and just, ripping so many people off like that just isn't on.
No.
But obviously in turn that's meant that I have obviously come under scrutiny. People have been, accusing me of doing it for my own gain, which is not the case at all. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm not like that. So, I mean, obviously we've all been trying to fight as hard as we can to try and, get our money back, but it's clear that that's not going to happen. But it's just been going on for so long now, and I think everybody just wants it to end. And I think more than anything, we just want an apology.
Yeah,
that's all we want. At this point now, we don't care about the money. It's not about the money now. It's all about the principle of the fact that these two people strung all these people along, and it wasn't just the Colditz trip. It was all of their UK trips as well that they've been selling tickets for.
Now, Compass Paranormal had a good reputation before they took over, I believe.
They had an amazing reputation. I mean, like I said, I never went on any events when it was owned by the previous owner, but from what I've seen of previous customers talking about their experiences with Compass before Janet and Kevin took over, it was absolutely fantastic. And it's just unbelievable that two people can manage to ruin a company like that within a matter of months.
Right.
Yeah. Can I just ask, before you went to the newspapers, I take it you did try and get something from the Bowens, speaking to them, trying to get some sort of the whole reason why it ended up going to the media was because we had tried and tried to contact the Bowens. We had emailed them, tried to phone them, we wrote letters to them. We didn't have any sort of response whatsoever, and the only time that they did respond was after we went to the newspapers. So to me and for the others, that was the only way that we could get them to say, look, oh my God, we need to do something about this. This is serious. People are annoyed, they are angry, and we need to give them answers. But unfortunately, we still haven't had those answers. And I take it they've now moved.
Yes, well, they had obviously they had planned to move. I think it was the beginning of this year when Janet said to me that they were moving to Ireland, and I think that move happened literally a week after we got back from Colditz, or a week or two after. So yes, they haven't given any new contact details for them, so they've been pretty impossible to get hold of.
Right, and we've actually tried to get the message across to anyone who knows them, that to give them a message that we will be doing this show on Sunday, but as to date, nobody's come back to us to say anything. So
yeah, because obviously we would like their side of the story as well.
Yeah, but
of course,
but now we're going to be speaking to a colleague of yours or acquaintance, Homebird, a bit later on. Do you know, how does she come into all this?
Homebird sort of kind of came on the scene a little while after this whole thing started. There was another lady that made a group on Facebook for everybody affected to kind of come together and share their experiences and just to keep everybody up to date. And I think that's when Homebird kind of came on the scene and, she started giving some really good advice, and she kind of took a lot of weight off my shoulders as well because, even though I seemed to be the person who started the ball rolling, it wasn't just me who was complaining, but that was the way it was coming across, because obviously I was kind of talking for all of these people. Yeah. So Homebird kind of came in and helped out with that a bit and kind of took over things a bit more, and she's helped a lot actually. She's kind of helped to keep us all kind of on the right track and make sure that everything's being done properly. So yeah, she's been a star.
And I believe you've got a load of proof in that from screenshots and stuff like that.
Sorry, what was that?
I believe you've got proof and screenshots of conversations. Is that right, or is that Homebird?
No, that's also myself. Throughout the whole situation, we've been taking screenshots of everything. So we have screenshots of the original adverts, conversations, the threatening messages that I've received. Absolutely everything that has gone on has got screenshots or emails to go with it to back it up.
Okay. And I take it legal representation is ongoing at this time.
Yeah, we've kind of tried to go down every avenue we can think of. But unfortunately, it's not kind of seeming as though anybody's willing to take it as seriously as they should be. So there's probably only one more option left for us now, and that would be to, take it to court ourselves. But that's something, obviously, that, the people who's been affected by it all needs to kind of decide for themselves, really, and think, is this something that I want to keep going with?
Yeah, I suppose it makes it kind of difficult when you're dealing with two different police forces.
Well, it's more than two. I mean, the people who have complained to Action Fraud, I mean, everyone, they're dotted all over the country. So hence why I kind of, if you like, put myself forward to get this all started, because it's easier to have maybe one or two people kind of being the main spokespeople for that, rather than everybody trying to do it themselves, because otherwise we'd probably never get anywhere.
Oh, this is it. Well, thanks for talking to us, Danny, and I hope whatever happens, you get some sort of resolve from this.
Yeah, I'd also just want to add, if that's okay, I mean, it's kind of been made to look as though that it's this whole thing with Compass has turned into a massive hate campaign, and I just want to say that that was never the intention. I don't hate Janet and Kevin for what they've done. I'm not a horrible person, and I wouldn't wish suffering on anybody. The whole idea of this was to try and get justice for something that we felt that we were really missold.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and obviously when it's on Facebook and you will get other people coming on and some other groups and obviously giving their opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. We certainly had that.
So what has the support been like from other groups and other people in the paranormal?
It's been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. I think it's actually shaken up the paranormal world a little bit, especially with event companies, because there were a lot of comments from customers saying, after this I will never trust an event company again. And it's just like, it's really important that people know that we're not all like that. There are so many great groups out there that, are completely customer focused and customer driven. So don't tar us all with the same brush, because we're not all like that.
Okay, well, thanks a lot then, Danny. It's been great speaking to you. And hopefully everything works out well for you, one way or another.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was Danny that you've heard there, speaking to us. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it with us tonight. She had personal commitments that she had to deal with. Andy, are you there?
Yep.
What did you think to that?
Dreadful. Just truly dreadful.
It is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
You know, and we're just on about, the start of it all is just on about Colditz Castle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people have been reiterating comments that me and Steve have made to John earlier before the start of the show. If Colditz wasn't doing investigations, why the blooming hell did they take them over and sell it as one? This is what I can't understand.
It's incomprehensible. Do they not think people were going to notice when they arrived that there was no event going on? Well, what are they going to do?
I know, this is what I can't understand. And like she said, they were supposed to be staying at Colditz Castle, and they ended up staying 9 miles away in a youth hostel. What do you think, John?
Yeah, same thing really. It's just beggars belief, doesn't it?
It does.
But, you know, like the lady said before, regards to, you know, there's a lot of companies out there. Nathan's on here tonight. Trina's on here tonight. No one bothers about the competition.
No.
Because you get people going to different companies anyway.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
But what we've all got to be mindful of, which I know a lot of the companies out there are there, who are mindful of, is that you've got to give good customer service at the end of the day. You've got to put on good events, and it's about doing the research as well. If for some reason there was communication breakdown, let's say for instance, you know, it's all that on an event should be sorted out beforehand.
Well, this is it. Just seeing that first bit on the forum about this poor woman who had some money missing, and then she was accused of causing trouble and told that if she didn't stop, she'd have to get off. My initial thought of that was, hang up a minute, she's on your event, and until that event finishes, she's your responsibility. You don't turn around and say, you know, get off the bus and, you know, make your own way home when you're in another country for a start. That's just wrong.
You don't even do that in this country.
You don't do it in this country, do you? Andy, do you want to put in there?
That's their responsibility to take care of their customers, clients, whatever phrase you want to use, for the duration of the event. If they're booked on for that period of time, for 3 days or whatever, you're responsible for everything that happens in those 3 days.
Yeah. Sarah Jade just said there that she was accused of taking it herself. I think that's what I read something about. She was basically accused that she'd hidden the money, or she'd used the money and she was just trying to cause trouble, you know. But I tell you, it's beyond belief.
Some of the comments that have been coming up on the chat room, absolutely loads from.
I know.
The first one being that this event to Colditz was completely missold.
Oh yeah.
And is from what they've done, is actually fraud.
It is fraud, and that's where we found out that they have tried to take legal action and stuff. But we're going to find out a bit more about that in a bit.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, part of the problem is you've got two different police forces. You've got the police. Well, you've got multiple police forces in this country.
Yeah.
Because obviously they're all from different parts of the country. That's all stuff been done, and then you've got the Garda themselves in Era and trying to do their bit.
This is it.
It's a lot trying to get it all together.
Yeah, and like John says, most of these people in the chat room are actually from paranormal groups and companies, and you can tell that we're all in uproar at this, you know, regardless of the fact that it affects us, because people, like it was mentioned earlier that somebody was saying, I think it was Sue Trainer that said she's known people to say they're not going on any other events again or something. We've all come together tonight to express our views, and we're all paranormal groups getting together, which is what it should be. Yeah. But we're all against it, you know.
I mean, we'll find out a bit later. I mean, it's not just fraud. It's threats of physical violence.
That's a bit up, you know.
That are coming through on this.
Yeah, when we started KTPF, we was hearing about threats of violence between groups, and this is what we try to do. You know, keep the paranormal friendly between groups. But this, it it goes beyond, doesn't it? Now it's getting ridiculous. Andy, do you want to come in here?
Just a couple of questions, really. Do you know if they've been in contact with Trading Standards about this? Because that would be your first protocol. I know Steve said about multiple police forces, but Trading Standards are the people to speak to first of all. They're the ones who would take it further.
Yeah.
Has that been done? Does anyone know?
I'm not sure. Homebird said that she was going to be available via Facebook, so I could ask her there. So I'll just type that into Facebook.
The other thing, I don't know if anyone has done this, but you are entitled to free legal advice that on the first instance of any lawyer. Just go along to a lawyer, a solicitor, try and book an initial consultation, which will be free, usually, and speak to them about the situation. The Trading Standards should be interested because this is outright fraud. This is fraud. Sarah
J has just said that they aren't interested.
Who? Do you mean
the Trading Standards? Apparently, they're not interested. This is ridiculous.
I'd go back to them and say that you should be interested because this is what you're for.
Yeah.
Citizens Advice Bureau would be the next port of call.
Well, I think when we listen to Homebird's, what's the name? I'm sure don't quote me. We'll find out in a bit later. But I'm sure she said something about that because they're now over in Ireland.
That doesn't mean anything.
The police over here can't do nothing.
I don't think that's true at all.
You know, so
there's got to be something else to be done about that.
Yeah, this is it. So
sometimes we get fobbed off with excuses like that.
Yeah.
To get themselves in. Actually, Sue just made a very good point there. Someone like Rough Traders might be quite interested in something like that. It's an unusual storyline. It's something that they've been following up.
Yeah, well, we did actually hear that it was going to be on the Fake Britain show.
Rip Off Britain. It's on Rip Off Britain.
It's on it. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. We need to be careful what we say next then.
Yes, I think we do. So, right, well, we've got some people waiting to give us a call. I don't know who's actually calling us on Skype, but we do have some people that's going to give us their views of what happened. Now, I don't know how many of the people that are ringing up went on the Colditz case, but this just doesn't actually happen with the Colditz. This has gone beyond Colditz to now, Andy, John. I'm going to read you a statement that was sent to me that I can actually read out. It's a bit long, so please bear with me, but you'll get the gist of it. It's from a young lady called Carol Porteous, and she's in Canada. Okay. And this is basically what she says. As I say, it goes beyond Colditz now. Back on December the 3rd, Barry Fitzgerald of Ghost Hunters International fame had posted on his Facebook site a recap of 2014. In his recap for the month of June, he advertised, "Join me as we investigate the Wolf's Lair in Poland." This caught my attention for two reasons. First, I wanted to visit Wolf's Lair, and second, meet Mr. F.
There's a third thing I'd point about that.
Go on.
It's not in Poland.
Oh, is it not? Okay. I checked out Compass P at the time and saw that it appeared to be a worthwhile and trustworthy operation. They had been around for many years. I saw many glowing reports about this company, and it was advertised that Kevin Bowen stated, and I'm going to say it again, placing integrity and respect first and foremost. I saw that he was involved with several other venues like Mediumship Evenings, Paracon 2014, etc. With Mr. F involved along with such positive feedback, I felt confident that this tour company was above board and to be trusted. I live in Vancouver, BC, Canada. So I needed to book flights and arrange for hotel rooms. I have been an investigator for many, many years and thought it would be great to meet the investigators in the UK and travel to Poland. I contacted Mr. Bowen in December and immediately started on his payment plan. Everything seemed to be going well. I noticed that Compass was actively involved in other investigations, and I was corresponding with Mr. Bowen about numerous questions regarding the trip. I booked air travel for myself and husband and planned to stay in Dartford in order to be near Ebbsfleet, where the tour was supposed to meet. I had voiced to Mr. Bowen my worries about getting lost and not finding the coach, but he assured me that they would find me. Later in the year, Compass advertised Dracula's Castle, and we decided that we wanted to attend that as well. In mid-March, I was completely paid up for Wolf's tour but Mr. Bowen sent me an email asking for another £100. I emailed him back to clear things up and then pressured him to pay Brancastle. And then he pressured me to pay Brancastle in full at the time. He said most of the other team members have paid already and they were already saving for spending money. I then asked Mr. Bowen if I could pay him for Brancastle when I saw him at the Wolf's tour, but he declined. I thought that strange at the time, but being eager to attend the event, I paid him in full for Bran as well. I have now paid him in total of £1,596 for both trips. It's in British pound. Meanwhile, I was busy researching currencies, our stay in London, train travel, and many other issues involved in our holiday. Closer to our departure, I started to email Compass to ask for more details on the tour, time to meet, itinerary, and so forth. I was very puzzled as to why Compass did not give us an itinerary. There was no replies to my email. Days started going by and still no answer. I started calling Compass Paranormal's office and there was no reply. No answer machine and no one was picking up the phone. I tried both days and night, as the UK is 8 hours ahead of us, still nothing. But by this time I was frantic. Our flight was due to leave shortly and I could not get hold of the tour. Please bear in mind that I was not spending much time on Facebook, and I didn't know there was a problem with Compass P. Finally, I had the idea to message Barry F. through Facebook to ask him if he knew anything about Compass. For this I will always be entirely grateful. He messaged me immediately back and told me that he no longer was affiliated with Compass. Mr. F is a kind man and a gentleman, and without his help I would not have known anything about this. I put two and two together and realised that the Wolf's tour was cancelled. We were not going to cancel our flights, and decided to make the best of things, and cancel our rooms in Dartford and rebook elsewhere. We had to replay everything at the last moment. In fact, I had to do it all in England because by this time we were headed to the airport. I was disgusted beyond belief not to have the simple courtesy to let us know. We had told everyone where we were going. I had got Polish currency and euros for our stop in Berlin, etc. When we returned, I emailed Mr. Bowen and told him he had no decency or morality. I told him I wanted my money back. He replied to my email saying he was working on getting my refund back. There was absolutely no apology from him about not letting us know about the cancellation. I contacted PayPal, but unfortunately they have a strict rule about making payments after 45 days. We were out of luck. Mrs. Bowen informed us that they had added our names to their solicitors. I have not to this day ever received any correspondence from any solicitor. I have not received a cent back from Compass either. When I had contacted Mrs. Bowen by FB and Mr. Bowen by email regarding my refund, they never asked for payment details, where to send it or what email account for PayPal. It was at this point I realised between fleeing and putting all the blame on others that I would probably never see a cent of my money. Certainly I have been lied to and treated quite badly. It was then I found the group on FB, Compass Paranormal, Can We Get Our Refunds? It was in this group that I truly began to get the horrendous scope of deceit and lies. I was not alone. Now, this is a woman from Canada, and, when they come to Britain, obviously they need to be treated right, because all right, I know some people say, well, it's one person, but some people out of the country will say it's the British sort of thing, and it really doesn't just put a downer on paranormal groups, it puts a downer on us in general, when it's somebody out of the country. What do you think to that then, Andy?
Yes. But I'm following the typed conversation at the same time as well.
Yeah.
It's just another example of how basically a bunch of crooks.
Yes.
I just wonder at what point did it start to go wrong for them? When did it begin to the wheels start falling off the wagon? When did they realise that what they were doing just wasn't going to happen, wasn't going to work? I mean, I just find it coming back to the Colditz thing. I just find it incredible they'd go all that way, knowing that they haven't got anything booked there.
Well, the Bran Castle incident that was due this weekend.
Yes.
And I'll hold my hands up and tell you that I actually rang up Alex at Bran Castle and told him I don't think it's going to happen because we started the events there. And I didn't want him thinking that Suzanne had got us to get these English groups in and now this has happened. You know what I mean?
So they hadn't been contacted?
No, they hadn't been contacted at all. And he wasn't very impressed either. And I just basically said to him that it's all kicked off over in this country concerning Compass Paranormal. I don't really think that it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Can I just go back to what we said in the chat room as well about the fact that maybe people like wouldn't take it seriously. Trained standards wouldn't take it seriously because it's paranormal. But to me, that's not true. The fact is, it doesn't matter what the event is. It could be, go out and look for fairies in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put train standards to a company because they didn't find any fairies, and train standards will say go away. But if you put the train standards, they paid 50 quid for a trip to the woods and never went there. That's a matter. And that's what we're talking about here. They were promised certain things were going to happen and pay for those things, and those things didn't happen. So train standards would be interested, regardless of whether it's paranormal or it's looking for fairies or Loch Ness Monster. It's a fact is they did not provide the service for which people were paid for.
This is it.
Yeah, can I just say, Sarah said in the chat room, they knew before they went to Colditz, they asked team members for money.
Yes, I've seen this.
Yes, and Ghost Whisperer said when they spent our money, that's when it all went wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've actually gone over there.
Yeah.
Knowing they had no way of getting into a place that didn't accept paranormal investigations. It's like it's like not only are they criminal, they're damn stupid because you'd get the money and run off before you take them abroad.
What happened to you being neutral, Andy?
Sorry, yeah. Well, the criminal and stupid.
It's kind of hard to be neutral when you're hearing things like
this. This is the trouble.
I mean,
there's no way you can justify any of what you're hearing here. There isn't, not as if someone had a life-threatening illness that kind of took over what they were doing in their lives and they had to get that sorted out first.
Yeah.
It's frustrating that we don't have information from them as to why they've done what they've done.
Well, I wish they would have come forward.
Losing the plot. Sort of actually going bonkers. I can't figure out what they were trying to do.
No, I wish they'd have come forward at least to say something, even if it was to stick up for themselves or explain what was going on. But, like I say, just reading what you see on Facebook in the group is enough to say, oh, my God. But when you're doing a show like this, and I've talked to Danny and I've talked to Homebird and I've read that kind of statement and I've got another one to read later on, it just makes it really, really bad, you know what I mean? And you don't realise just by reading Facebook how bad it's gone. What do you think, John?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like the danger is it's like what you said, really, isn't it? It gives people a bad impression of us all, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And
the same brush as this, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. And do you know what? I'm not in it for the money. I never have been. It's for the. I want to do as best as I can do. I keep myself to myself, and I try to give people the best experience that I can.
Yeah.
And it's going to get to a situation where who's going to trust us anymore?
Well,
and it's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, from what I can work out, the Colditz Saga, as we're calling it now, most of the people that were booked on there were actually from other groups. I believe Charmaine's from another group, and we're going to get her on the phone in a moment. we're going to start taking some calls. So the number is 0844. Okay, she says, trying to type it. 0844 414 3982.
Can I just say something, Sue? I think your mic's very close to your keyboard because we are hearing very loud clicking noises.
Sorry.
Sarah said the worst thing is they openly admit that they owe the money and they have spent it. So basically saying you can do what you want because we haven't got any money.
Yeah.
Such thing as being declared bankrupt and having money taken from you legally, so they need to.
The thing is, they haven't even declared bankrupt. They just shut the company down.
And
started something new.
They're in the Republic, I understand, Republic of Ireland.
Yeah.
Which is not Mongolia. We do have very strong political links with them, and in terms of judicial links with the Republic of Ireland, i.e., just because they're there, is no escape. But what do we?
I'm not sure what part of Ireland they've gone to be honest.
Well, yeah, of course. And if they're Northern Ireland, then they're still in the UK, so they're under the same laws anyway. But do we actually? Has anyone been in direct contact with them recently?
That's the trouble. Nobody seems to be able to get in hold of them.
No, they're
how
ignoring
sure
everybody.
Are we that they're at this location in Sligo, as Ghostwhisperer just put?
Oh, right. I just know from Homebird that she knows where they are, but she didn't want to mention.
Yeah, that's the first time that it's been that we've actually been told
where they are,
whereabouts they are, because obviously we don't know whether they're there or not, and stuff like that. So we even tried to get hold of the people at Paracom, where Kevin was actually doing a lecture there, and to try and get hold of them,
but they never got back to us.
Nobody ever got back to us.
So, you know, but we have tried contacting them, and obviously these have. So I've heard that one or more of that company founders are still operating under a different name. That's what, wasn't it? My number is 0844 414 3982 if you want to give us a call. Ghost Whisperer, would you like to give us a call to start off with, and tell us about yourself and about this group that you started up before we talk to Charmaine? Would that be possible if you could give us a ring?
Do you remember what their new group was?
I can't remember what the new group was.
I know they're doing it for cash only, so there's no...
it weren't Ghostly Encounters or something. I can't remember what it was. So
there's no way of actually tracking where your money's gone.
No, it was mentioned on the website, on the page actually. So, but I can't remember.
Maybe the guys from the page can let us know.
Yeah. Would you be able to do that, Ghost Whisperer? Give us a call. If not, I'll ask Charmaine to ring. Ah, here we go. Supernatural Encounters. That's what they're supposed to be. I have Googled it and nothing really comes up. So, but yeah. So as I say, this doesn't really just doesn't stop at cold. It's everything else that's come into it as well. Danny was telling me that they've booked places in England that they haven't actually booked, as you heard in our conversation. You know,
it's very brief. What is their plan? What was their plan? Are they hopefully simply taking people's money and they're not planning to do anything? I mean,
yeah.
Have they had previously events that were good and then these people just took over or went wrong from that moment?
Right, we've got Charmaine on the phone. Okay. Hi, Charmaine.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Can everybody hear her okay in the chat room?
Yeah, clear as a bell.
Good, clear as a bell. Now, Charmaine, what event did you book on?
I booked on to go to the Spirit Inn. I booked 2 tickets, and then I booked to go to Dracula's Castle.
Okay.
So I've got £585 and I signed up with them.
Oh no, it's ridiculous, isn't it? We're not talking £10, 20 quid here, even though some are owed that much, you know. But we're talking big money, people that have saved up for this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, when I heard about the College trip, my friend had gone on it, and I thought, well, I don't really want the same thing happen to me when I go to France. So I slightly sent a message to Janet and said, look, you know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Colby, but is it okay if I cancel and just have a refund? And I just wanted the refund. I didn't have to deposit anything out of this just what I'm entitled to. And she went, well, bear with me. You know, everything'll be fine. You know, this is all like a storm in a teacup. So they went on, and I passed live messages to her. And then all of a sudden, on Facebook, because there's no way of contacting them, I was deleted on Facebook. I was blocked from all the pages, so I had no way of getting in contact with them at all. And then things were being posted up, you know, like, right, we're going to name and shame. So all over their Compass Paranormal page, I was named and shamed, you know, Charmaine Mayer is this, she's a troublemaker, blah, blah, blah. And all because I'd asked for my refund.
Yeah.
I even waited the 30 days, it's actually said on their website, for them to refund the money, because she promised within 30 days I would have my refund, and then it was just, that was it then. I had nothing more from them apart from their naming and shaming certain people over their Facebook pages.
Oh, I don't know. Are you still part of your own group, Charmaine?
Yeah, yes. Just a little group we're in, Nutchies and Ghost Whisperers, yeah.
Right, okay.
But, I mean, I started up the Compass Paranormal page.
Yeah.
And can we get our refund? Because it became apparent that I wasn't the only one that was being affected by this.
Can you put a bit closer to the mic or turn her up, baby?
People joining and joining going,
you know, it's okay if we join, but we're only owed £30, and it doesn't. And I've said it doesn't matter how much you're actually owed. You're paid for an event, and it's not, you know, you're not getting what you bought.
Yeah,
people, every time people asked for a refund, that was it. They were blocked. Okay. And then one day she must have gone through all her customer base list and blocked everyone that had actually booked anything on her event.
I don't know. It's really bad. And there's been the abuse and everything, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, Homebird came back to me when I asked her. Trading standards said they couldn't do anything because they moved. However, this is now being reviewed by other agencies. Okay.
Exactly.
We've printed out everybody's stories and files and screenshots of the abuse that everyone has got, we would have a file that would be 2-3 foot high, I would imagine, because we've tried to gather everything we can because of the abuse we actually got, especially people like Danny and Homebird, who got a lot of abuse. So we decided that we were going to screenshot everything. We were going to print everything off because we've got the proof that this has happened. It isn't a witch hunt like they're trying to say. It's just honest, hard-working people that paid for an event to go on that have been scammed. It's as simple as.
You know, it's kind of hard to stay neutral, isn't it?
It is hard to stay neutral.
To be honest.
I'm trying to be. I was doing my best, but I've given up.
Yeah, I know. I can't stay neutral, I must admit, and that's before we started the show. So
it's not just that though, because we've got people on the page that Janet and Kevin have actually emailed their places of work and slagging them off, trying to get them sacked from the job. And I can say that because I've seen the proof.
But this is a thing. People have got proof, you see, John. They've got screenshots of the slagging down. You know, they've got screenshots of them saying what they're saying. You know, and this, that, and the other. So they can't deny it because they're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just, I don't know, it's just mad, isn't it?
It is mad. It's something that we never ever thought would happen. You know what I mean? Mind you, Andy did say to me the other week, I'm surprised it didn't happen before.
Exactly. I'm surprised it's taken this long for someone to do it.
I mean, we have heard of this happening every now and again before. There was one gentleman at the moment who we know has done something similar before. Obviously, we can't prove this at the present time because we don't have the facts, but we've heard that he's now ripping off venues.
Really?
But obviously, we don't have the facts for that one, so we can't name and say anything openly.
And Will's 1964 has just said that Janet's daughter came on the page and said that Janet was not aware of what Kevin was doing. You know, so I'm not sure whether that.
She had to, I dispute that because with all the messages that we've received, I think I received one message off Kevin saying there was we would get our refund. Every other message that I had was from Janet. So there's no way Janet will say that she didn't know what was going on because she knew from the very beginning because that's the person that most people are contacting.
She had to, didn't she? There's no way she could have stepped back from all that. She must have known what was going on. And
exactly. How can you possibly not?
No, this is it. You know.
But I'm still intrigued at what point this all began to happen. Was it from the moment these guys Kevin took over? Compass was already doing dodgy dealing, or did something happen during his tenure of ownership?
Well, you know, like there's about 3 years ago now, and I was going to go do events abroad, And I was teaming up with a lady who was a tour operator.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I didn't want to sort of take part in it.
Yeah.
At that time, it wasn't the right time for me, but I wouldn't have gone without a tour operator who could be there to make sure that everything was okay, everything was dealt with, and I thought at first, well, could it be that? Could it be the breakdown of communication? Could it be because they didn't have a tour operator on that side of the country? But it doesn't even seem that, does it? No. It doesn't seem that that's the case. So, it doesn't seem as a breakdown of communication.
Yeah, the thing is, Danny was absolutely right. We're all well, a lot of us are still angry, but the anger has sort of debated a little bit now. All we really needed from them, even if they'd have turned around and said, which they have done, sorry, we haven't got the money, because Kevin was saying, we just haven't got the money, we've spent it, whatever. It's just the two, we are sorry. That's all we ever wanted, really. Yeah. Put their hands up and say, look, we've made a mistake. We've probably taken on a little bit too much. We've taken over a new company than we should have done. We are sorry, but we'll try and put things in place to refund you as much as we can. But they haven't even bothered to say sorry. They know what they've done. They've spent our money, and in my book, they've stolen money because it wasn't theirs to take and spend on their personal things.
It was our money. Sorry, they're admitting liability
on events. And they haven't turned around and even said, do you know what, we're really, really sorry. We're going to hold our hands up to this and admit we've made a mistake. Then, things may have been different. We might not have started, legal proceedings or whatever, because you have to give people a chance to defend themselves. Yes. And we gave them every chance for them to apologise and put their hands up and admit to their mistake, but they wouldn't do it. It was all our fault. It was our doing that they were getting and losing the money. It was our fault that people were not booking on their events because we asked what was right for the hours.
Yeah.
Can I just read a couple of things off the chat room here? Sarah said that she only ever received one message from Kevin. All the abuse come from Janet. Mm-hmm. Grace said, was it set up for fraud in the first place? That's why they're doing the BPA to try and help. Obviously, we'll be talking to Simon a little bit later. Namaste said the thing is, most paranormal groups are not truly registered companies. That's because a lot of them are not actually companies. Yeah. Viscount said the more I listen, the more my heart goes out to these poor people. It gives the paranormal a really bad name.
It does. It really does. Thank you, Charmaine, for your input, my darling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
But hopefully this show and when it's out on the radio replay on YouTube, more people can get it out there, and hopefully we can
stop this from happening.
We can be a part of stopping this from happening again.
But
it's
right what Andy says though.
Most of this has been going since 1990. It is surprising in a way that it hasn't happened before.
No. What was you saying earlier during that conversation, Andy?
Important point. They're not going to say sorry because that's admitting liability. Legally, it's admitting liability. So while they can deny everything, they're going to continue to deny everything because that way they are protecting themselves. Now, whether they've been legally advised to not say sorry, I don't know. But I can tell you legally, if they say sorry publicly to anybody, that's admitting liability, admitting they're at fault.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Me and Steve are a non-profit organisation, and we stipulate non-profit, but we still treat it as a business. I've always said to people, no disrespect to the companies or whatever, right? But I've always turned around and said, just because we're non-profit, it doesn't mean that members of the public are not going to say, if we do something wrong, they're not going to say, oh, it's all right, they're non-profit.
No, they're still going to want their money back.
They're still going to look at us as though we're a company and do what they need to do to get their money back or whatever if they're disgruntled by something. Yeah. And we've got to look at it that way.
Yeah, there's another one. Will 1964 said, Shah, don't forget, when we went to the Skirrid Inn, Kevin was still blagging the owner that the event was still going on.
Oh, my God. It's bad. So... Well, this is it. Like Sue said, even even non-profit organisations.
And Judy just said that Paracon is aware of the situation and does not promote Kevin with future events.
I see.
So they've pulled pulled the plug on him on that one.
Yeah. So
which is good to know.
Was there anyone that was going to contact us via Skype by any chance? That I don't know whether Dan was going to. Is Dan Harrison in the chat room? I think he was going to contact us for some reason. I can't remember. I know what his input to this was, but if he wants to give us a call, or if he wants me to call him,
Let's go back to a question I was asking earlier.
Yeah.
When Kevin and Janice took over this existing company, did they have events that initially ran okay and then things went wrong, or were they defrauding people from the off when they took over? Does anyone know?
Don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, maybe you guys can tell us out there, because we don't know what events they've done. The first one that we actually heard about was the coldest one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe I should read this from Denise Mott now.
One second. Sue Trainer said yes. So even non-profit organisations have to be registered. No, they don't. Unfortunately.
No, nothing goes to be said.
No, they don't. I mean, you have to be able to prove that you're not making a profit for the tax man.
Oh yeah.
But for no,
even then, you can make a small profit and it's still okay.
Yeah.
So no paranormal group has to be registered. There's no actual law that says that you've got to do this.
No, this is it. Oh, hello.
Incoming.
Hello, who's got the line? Alright, hold the line. I'll put you on the live on the show. Right, we have Dan Harrison live on the show. Can you hear me, Dan? Oh, hold on. Try again.
Hi.
That's better. How can we assist you tonight? What have you involved in this? In what way?
Yeah, well, there was a group of us who was supposed to have gone to Paranormal Manor
right.
at the end of June. Most of us had paid what we were asked to pay, and then out of the blue, it got cancelled by the Bowens, and we got told if any cancellations got done by them, then a full refund would be given, but if an individual group cancelled, then they'll get nothing back.
Yeah.
So we are still waiting for our refunds. We have been extremely polite to the Bowens, asking them, please, can we have our money back? And absolutely got nothing back. They've been extremely rude to home.
Yeah.
And I mean extremely rude. Calling her literally everything under the sun.
Yeah.
And she hasn't done anything wrong from what I can see.
No.
She's done everything right. And they're calling her everything under the sun, which is really unfair.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a thing that they're the ones that are the culprits in all this. Yet they're crying witch hunt and everyone's attacking me. Well, what did they expect?
Yeah.
You know, what did they expect? People were going to just say, oh, that's fine, you've got my money, don't worry about it, go and enjoy your holiday or whatever.
Yeah.
What did they expect out of all this?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, to turn around and say, oh, we're being abused and all this, that and the other, and then start giving abuse back, that's ridiculous. It's not the way to go, is it, John?
No, definitely not.
You say you was booked on to go to the manor, was you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I remember Danny telling me that they didn't actually book it or something.
Sorry?
I'm sure Danny said something they didn't actually book it or something.
No.
You know, this is the thing then. There's some places they've advertised that they didn't even book.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, because what we got told, Bodden Manor got repossessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but okay. Well, thanks very much, Dan.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and Spirit Watcher, in answer to Andy's question, said it would apparently the existing events that Compass had planned went ahead okay.
Yeah.
So that would be Denise
and Richard
time when the Bowens took over. So it would seem it was only the events that they'd supposed to have booked.
Okay.
Yeah, and Sue's just said she worded it wrong. Yeah, the rules and regulations are the same for us as well.
That's true.
You know, that's right. The owners of the manor confirmed with us that Kevin had no contact whatsoever. It seemed he had no intention of doing so. It just gets worse, doesn't it, John? What do you think?
Telling you, putting events up for sale and not even booking.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, really, isn't it? I mean, how can you do that?
You don't believe you're going to hear, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I wonder how they thought we're going to get away with it. I mean, what do they think we're going to achieve? Do they think we're going to say, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, I've earned this money. I've worked hard for it. But you can keep. I don't mind. What do they think is going to happen? I'm sorry, but...
Well, it's like Homebird says in her interview, and we'll play that in a moment. People, some of them aren't working. They've saved up to go on these events. You know, for them to turn around and say, thanks, I've got your money. It's just ridiculous. You know... Spirit Watch said, as far as I know, it went bad from Colditz onwards. Sarah J said he did the buy one get one free to generate money for the Colditz trip. Even staff members were ripped off. Yes, I've heard this about staff members as well. Supposed to be asking them to get payday loans or something.
Yeah, but
it is rumours at the moment. I can't confirm that.
So it would seem that from Colditz. They were already starting to rip people off.
Yeah.
Even their own team, which is unbelievable.
Well, I want to read this now because I think...
Is that the thing from Denise?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason why I want to read this is because this is the reason why I decided to try and help out here and get everybody's word out there. Because basically... Denise was starting to get phone calls, and I've asked Denise whether she'd be part of the show, and she's asked me if she could do a statement because she's promised her family no more paranormal. So I'll read this for you, and it will give you an idea what's happened prior to Colditz. She says, "Hi Suzanne, good luck with the show tomorrow," because she gave it to me yesterday. I, Denise Mott, sold Compass Paranormal Events in 2013 September to Kevin and Janet Bowen. The reason for the sale was to enable myself to spend quality time with my family. The Bowens personally spent time with myself and my family for a period of 2 weeks so they could see how I ran the business, go through the running of the business on a day-to-day basis and go through the accounts, etc. I formally handed the company over to them at the orphanage in Liverpool in September 2013 in front of approximately 45 people. I gave them the opportunity to trade and establish themselves to January 2014 before they started to pay the fee agreed for the sale of Compass. Just before Christmas 2013, Kevin Bowen approached my husband to ask for a loan. Out of the goodness of his heart, he lent the money. This amount we since found out was to fund the purchase of a diamond ring for Mrs. Bowen and to spend a Christmas in Portugal. They have only ever made one payment to myself of £200. It took 4 years of sheer hard work, dedication and passion to establish Compass as one of the leading ghost hunting companies in the UK, building a fabulous reputable reputation for not only myself but for Compass, working with the most prominent names in the industry. I have had to sit back and watch as Compass was destroyed. They have left a trail of destruction in their wake, leaving behind a complete and utter mess, owing thousands of pounds to many, funding a new life for themselves. Not satisfied with this, Janet Bowen has actively encouraged people to chase myself for monies, saying that I missold Compass to them and that I was emotionally blackmailing, harassing them and bullying them for money and accusing people of going on a witch hunt and accused of sending people on a witch hunt against them, and making out to the victims of a crime. Sorry, and making out to be the victims of a crime they themselves are guilty of, which has added to more distress for myself and my family. I personally would like to thank everyone for their support over the last few months, and I will not let the matter rest. They have stolen not only monies from myself and a lot of good, honest, hard-working people, but they have stolen reputations and the good name of anyone who has tried to confront them on their actions. Signed, Denise Mott. Now that's what Denise has said. And as you can see, she even gave him a few months' grace to get the turn, the turnover and the get things moving, before she actually started asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't have done more than that, really, could she? Anybody else would have turned around and said, right, it's that amount of money, thank you very much, see you later. But no, she's had him in her house, she's helped him sort out the accounts, work out how to run the day-to-day business, and gave him a few months' grace before she asked for money.
Yeah, it sounds like she gave him a fair chance.
Oh, yeah.
And she got ripped off herself as well.
Did you wonder what the original intentions of the Bowens was? Were they intending to run it legitimately, or did they see it as a money-making scam?
It's hard, really, to answer that, Andy.
Well, this is why I've been asking. Did they original?
Yeah.
I'm beginning to wonder if it was they saw it as an opportunity to scam people. I'm beginning to suspect.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you know about these people prior to buying Compass? Did they have? I mean, I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Well, apparently,
I've heard of them.
Yeah, apparently Kevin was a medium with the group.
Apparently, according to the originally what I read. Just to reiterate, because I don't think you was here.
One of the guys on the chat room said he was meeting there.
It said Compass Paranormal, now in its fourth year, was a public events company. Was originally started by Richard and Denise Mott. Blah blah blah, and then it says Kevin Bowen was one of Compass's own mediums alongside his wife Jan, who took over.
Yeah, I do wonder again if they saw it as a chance to make some money, or whether it's a difficult one, because they could have discovered that these things are not as easy to run as people might think they are, which I'm sure John will agree with. There's a lot more involved than many people think.
Yeah,
they were in over their heads before they realised, and rather than try and sort of rectify, they just kept going until they could go no further.
I'm only reading what I found on the internet, so about him supposed to be being one of their mediums. So I'm just going on what I found.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never heard of him either, to be honest.
No, I hadn't until recently.
Not until this came up.
No.
But I mean, just to reiterate to people that are listening, I'm sure John will agree. We've known the original Compass for a long time. And they've had a really, really good rep.
Oh, certainly from there, definitely. Yes.
Well, one of the best out there, from what I understand. I've never actually been on one of their events, but for everything we've heard, it's all been.
It's a shame it's just been destroyed, isn't it? Like you say, you've destroyed somebody's good reputation.
And it has knocked the paranormal industry. Paranormal groups alike are sitting there going, what the hell? What the hell has happened here? Bicant, he's basically said there that he's been in the business for 22 years. He's never heard of him, but I bet it's the first time he's heard of anything like this, that's ever happened.
Helen and Mark have just said Janet wanted Kevin to give up a well-paid job simply to receive benefits when we met them, and those were from her own mouth.
Really?
But Andy hit the nail on the head before, really. Is when he said that people come into the business, into the industry, and it isn't as easy as they think.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of hard work. It really does. You know that.
Yeah, well, this is it. It does take hard work. We've been doing UK Shadow Seekers for 7 years now, and it is well hard. I'm surprised we're still going, to be honest with you, and that's as a non-profit group.
Yeah,
but we've struggled.
Jim's just said they will keep ripping people off if they can get away with it. He said he came to Craig and us with them, DPH, and said, "Hi, I've always wanted to work with you, yet had never met me before."
So some people have seen him. when I said the paranormal world, I mean known in the event side of things. I've known of him for years. Venues have known about him. Really, Spirit Watcher, really. Even though she's never met him. As I say, yeah, Club Zero, they're a non-profit group. They've been going for 10 years, and it's Ace Paradox. This has happened before. NWSS, something also folded, owing money to many people. I've never heard of them.
Who are they?
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, can you tell us who the group is?
Northwest Northwest Spirit Seekers, I think.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
But they were more of a kind of what we were talking about when I was with you, that kind of grey area between private investigation team and full-on company investigations. They were one of those amongst that kind of branch, whereas someone like Compass are a company. They are a fully established business, and along the lines of what John runs.
What's his Gray's Encounter said, why have a company in the first place? To make money, keep it not profit with people that really care for the paranormal.
Well, I'm not sure
about this. What will Spirit think about this when we try our best to communicate? It varies. Some people, it's a lot with everything.
We're non-profit and we do it because we want to do it. But I have no problem with people making a living.
No,
absolutely.
I do have a problem when, not so much now, but in the past they were way overcharging.
Yeah.
Some companies were charging £99 for a gig that we were charging 25.
Yeah.
I have a problem with, but obviously they've got overheads and they have guest mediums.
Well, this
and
is
stuff
it.
coming on, so they've got a lot more out there that we don't know about. But
this is it.
But
you're a company, aren't you?
But that's down to
that's fine.
That's down to the public to choose.
There's more to a company than there is a non-profit, isn't there?
Well, sure, John can tell you, running a company is bloody hard work.
It is hard work. Yeah,
it's just making a living basically. It's not like John's rolling in cash in his big gold Rolls Royce or anything.
Well, yeah, I wish, but no, we don't. When people add up the amount of money that we do on advertising, for instance, on Google, the cost of the events, and it's like the pain of the people who work for you as well. To be honest, I don't make any money out of it at all. No. Whether you believe it or not, it's true.
This is it. Most of the money we get, the little pittance, it goes towards the insurance, doesn't it?
That and obviously replacing equipment and stuff. Right. Nathan just does for Dawn Events. He said they met Kevin in 2010 when he came to one of their psychic development events. Didn't realise he was a working medium until he started working for various groups, companies a couple of years later. Spirit Watcher said when Kevin and Jan took over, it was not a limited company anymore. It then became a group rather than a registered company.
This is the difference. That is the big difference. You can be a group who organises events that people pay to come along to cover the cost of the event, or you're a company, a registered proper company. Now, if Compass are a registered proper company, there's all sorts of laws that they've broken. Whether they have declassified themselves as a company is something else to look into. Company's House would have this information. This is the area that needs to be looked into to see how far you can take this, because these guys cannot be. It's fraud. It's criminal fraud, and there has to be a way that they can be brought to account for it. And what I mean is there has to be law in place that we can use in order for this to be dealt with.
Yeah, and Namaste just said some groups still charge a hell of a lot. Glass houses and stones come to mind. Some do, some don't. Our top price is 45, and that's only because we've got to pay out over £1,000 to actually get the venue in the first place.
Whether you're a group or whether you're a company, it's like Medium Sue Trainer just said. You still have to do the rules and regulations. You still have to do it, whichever way you are. So, and I agree with you. That is definitely right. So, what I'm going to do is...
Ghost Whisperer just said, if Kevin Bowen is accredited medium, then I'm Kylie Minogue.
Apparently that'll be another show. Don't get her on mediums.
Credited by who? That's the kind of terminology I find bizarre. Credited by who?
Well, this is it. I don't know where they get these
Yeah,
accredited.
I mean,
there's no different organisation that's some government sponsored or regulated.
Yeah, you can get the Arthur Finley thing.
I don't know whether it's the Arthur Finley thing.
Fred Smith could make that himself next week. I'm the Fred Smith School of Mediumship, and you're accredited to me. It's like my old professionals we were talking about a couple of weeks ago with hypnotherapy and psychotherapy. And psychotherapy has been around for sort of a century or so, but there's still no national recognised registration body that says yes, you're a psychotherapist, or no, you're not. You just can't. Exactly, as Sue's just saying there is no regulation. So this accredited stuff,
yeah,
it's rubbish.
The Viscounts probably said the NSU, probably. But they were paying in the rear end.
They're a church anyway.
They're also paying in the rear end.
They can be.
If you want what I can see for the future, really, I think going down the road is that companies like ourselves who do paranormal events, one day will have to be registered tour operators.
Yes,
I can see that coming.
Yeah.
There's going to be some kind of events regulation.
I can see that coming.
Regardless of what the kind of event it is, these kind of events. I mean, it's like if you go to a company that does like Battlefield, you imagine that's exactly it, basically. A Battlefield's tour company. You pay X amount of money to go to Normandy for a weekend to visit battlefields. This is what these kind of companies. It's the sort of thing we do. We go to certain locations for a period of time to look for something or experience something. That's what a paranormal events company is. They should be covered by the same rules and regulations that say Battlefield's tour company is, and if they're breaking those kind of regulations, then they should be reportable to those kind of bodies.
Well, going back to like I was saying about 3 years ago when I nearly went on board, but this tour operator, she did say it was coming. When it's coming, I've no idea, but this will sort out the men from the boys. It really will.
They've been going on about it for ages, the regulation and all this, that, and the other, haven't they? Really?
It's all well and good having regulations and stuff. It's having the body there to enforce it, and at the moment the police can't even enforce the laws we've already got, let alone fund. And who would fund this body?
Well, this is it.
You know what I mean?
And who will monitor it?
That's the problem we're into. As I say, if psychotherapy as a profession can't find those kind of rules, regulations they can all abide by, what hope have we got?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break while we listen to Homebird and see where she came into it. And this will be interesting for you. So I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll see you in a moment. Right, okay, so we're talking here to Homebird, all the way from Ireland, who is also part of this
guys, you're much alive still.
Happened with Compass Paranormal, for want of a better word. I can't think of anything else. Can you, Steve?
No, I can't. But would that be North or South?
Now, are you North or South Ireland?
South Ireland. I'm in the Republic.
Era. Okay. So, anyway, people know you as Homebird, so we'll keep to that for the interview. Now, we've spoken to Danny, and we've got her side of it and why she started it and everything else. Whereabouts did you come into all this, to this problem?
Well, myself and a group of friends booked a trip originally with Compass Paranormal through Kevin. He was actually a friend of the lady who booked it. So we presumed that the trip was going ahead, everything was great. In around April, we found out that the manor where we were supposed to hold our trip had been taken by the courts. So Kevin was contacted. At the time, he told us that he knew nothing of this, he would look into it and get back to us. When he did, he said, yeah, that location is gone, but we'll get you another one. We have 2 other possibilities. So we went along, and there was nothing forthcoming from him. There was no venues, there was nothing. So the lady who organised the trip, she contacted him again and said that we were still going to go ahead and meet up because there's people travelling from all over. I was coming from Ireland. There was another girl coming from Dublin as well. There was people coming from Scotland. So we said to him, we're going to book a hotel, but there's some people relying on that money and they need the refund back before we go to pay for the hotel. So he promised us this would be fine. There was no problem whatsoever. The date came and went. We still got no refund. I contacted Janet on Facebook asking her about the refund and when we were going to get it. And she told me that it was all in the hands of the solicitors, that there was nothing she could do. So I asked her,
I said to her, I was sorry to hear that Compass had closed. I wouldn't like to see any business closing, but I asked for the solicitor's details. She said she didn't have them. Now, I found that strange at the time, and I said, okay, but surely you have some information, so can you please send it to me by close of business on Friday? A couple of hours later, I got a message from her, more or less saying I'd been slagging her off on some private page, which was totally untrue, and she then blocked me. I find that was just an attempt to throw us off because we were asking for refunds. Then I got some more abusive messages from her. She unblocked me, and I got more abusive messages. Somebody contacted me saying that she had slandered me on her page, and it sent me screenshots that she was saying this, that and the other about me. I had messages from people I didn't know accusing me of threatening her. I'd never threatened her. It just was really outrageous that I was a customer who was owed money, and she was accusing me of upsetting her in some way, and they'd taken my money. So I joined the Compass refund group, which Danny is a part of, and found out that there was loads of other groups that had been in a similar situation, that had been promised trips that were cancelled. There was also something about a Colditz trip. I knew nothing of Colditz. I wasn't on that trip, but Janet had insinuated that I was just another member of this Colditz group who was unhappy. So I decided that because I was blocked and I couldn't respond to the allegations that she was making, that I would start my own page, which is the Compass Paranormal Exposed page.
Yeah.
And through that page, we've received so much information that it's really overwhelming. There are so many people that have been conned. We got screenshots where they had asked employees to take out payday loans. We found out from someone who's connected with Boardingham Manor that they had never booked our trip there in the first place. So it was nothing to do with, them paying deposits to Boardingham or Boardingham being closed. The trip was never booked initially.
Which trip was this for?
It was a trip to Boardingham Manor that we were meant to go to at the start of June this year.
Right, okay. Right.
And we got a message back from Boardingham that they had stopped dealing with the Bones because of similar situations to ours.
Right. Okay.
That they're basically dishonest. They're not booking venues. They're taking money from people, and these people didn't want to deal with them.
So what is the upshot of what's happening now? Obviously, Danny's told us about the fact that she's she's had threats and everything. You've had threats. What's actually going on at the moment?
Well, at the moment, personally, I didn't act on the threats because if somebody wants to block me and put comments saying that they'd like to take a chainsaw to me, fair enough. Janet Bowen doesn't know where I live. She doesn't know anything about me. And I'm not going to be intimidated by people like that. I have been in touch with the authorities here, and they are more than prepared to act. The Facebook pages, there seems to be continuous reports from the posts that we're putting up. Everything that's put up is a fact. We screenshot everything. Everything is validated, but they don't want the truth getting out. So at the moment, I'm not posting anything, but all information will be gathered, and I've been in touch with the Garda Fraud Investigation Unit here in Ireland. They have assured me that they will act once they receive a file from the UK, and I've also taken legal advice.
Right, okay. So what do you hope is going to come from this?
Basically, I don't hold out much hope for any of us getting our money back, because all they've done is come up with excuses not to pay us. What I'm hoping is to cause enough awareness that companies like this will think twice before scamming innocent members of the public again.
Yeah.
That's all we can hope for at best. I'm 100% sure that if it does go to court, that we will be awarded a judgment in our favour. However, I'm not 100% sure that they will fulfil it and that they will actually repay what they owe.
Okay.
The laws are slightly different here in Ireland. They can be prosecuted because we've had so many scandals here with bankers and things due to the recession here. New laws have come into place where they can actually be jailed for this type of fraud.
Right, and there's been many people that's been roped into all this and been affected. Am I okay to say that there was a woman on your page from Canada?
Yes, yeah. Kevin had actually organised a payment plan with this lady. It had been a lifelong thing that she wanted to do a ghost hunt. So she was paying him off weekly or monthly. I'm not sure exactly what the terms were, but she had paid him in instalments for this trip. Coming up towards the time for the trip, she tried to get in contact with him to organise, a meet-up point and things, and she got no response. And when she went looking online, then she found out that Compass had gone. They hadn't even got the manners to tell her. And when she had finished paying for the trip that she was due to go to, he had actually asked her for more money for another trip.
Yeah.
And she said to him, "Can I not pay you when I see you?" He said, "No, because most people already have that trip paid for and they're starting to save now."
It's beyond me what's happened. What do you say, Steve? Do you have a question for Homebird?
I'm still trying to get it all in my head. I mean, we've been doing stuff for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've never, ever heard of anybody being this blatant with stuff.
I know.
I mean, you hear stories of the odd one and odd stuff not being paid when it should be and blah, blah, blah. But from what we're hearing, this is a deliberate case of, I want your money, but you're getting nothing for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's absolute deliberate fraud, and we can prove that. We have had communications with Bodenham Manor, and they have said that he had no permission to book a venue at their location. To be honest, the amount of money isn't huge that we paid individually.
No.
In total though, the group of us had paid just under £600.
God.
And that might seem small enough in the grand scheme of things, but when you look that he had £1,600 from that lady in Canada.
Yes.
The people who went to Coles, they were promised one thing and got the complete opposite. So they're owed money. When you add it up, it's thousands and thousands. The lady that they bought the company from, they never paid her for it. And then even when I contacted Janet that time, she tried to put me back onto that lady. It's nothing to do with her.
No.
Janet tried to tell me that they never owned Compass because they never signed paperwork. But yet they advertised in their name.
Yeah.
They took payments in their name. And on one occasion, for a separate trip, Kevin actually asked people to put money into a different PayPal account. He said that the Compass PayPal account wasn't working. He had an issue with his email.
And you've got proof of all this, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what can you do in Ireland? Are you going to pressurise this? Pressurise, for want of a word. Are you going to take this on and try and get things resolved?
Oh yeah, I'm not backing down. I'm not stopping.
No.
Oh, I haven't been posting lately, but I have a life too. I've had some personal things to deal with. I've been busy with work, but I'm all over this. I'm completely on top of it. I know that trade and standards in the UK have said that they can't do anything because they don't live there anymore. So what I'm trying to do is get a particular Garda assigned to this case so that they can take over and request the file from trade and standards.
Is there any truth in the rumour that they're now starting up in Ireland?
They are attempting to, yes. But I've been in touch with a few different spiritual communities around Ireland. And I've just made them aware of the situation. I haven't told any lies. I haven't slandered anyone.
No.
I've said if they want any information, I'll pass it on to them.
Yeah.
But it's not an attempt to blacken the bones or any kind of a witch hunt. I just don't want people left in the same position that we were.
No.
I'm fortunate. I'm working. I can make money, and the amount of money I lost is nothing to me. I'll make that in less than a day. But there's other people who are unemployed who were saving for that trip.
Yeah.
And were then left with added expense on top of it because the hotel fee was more on top of the trip. Then there was travel to a different area. People had booked train tickets and they had to change things. I had booked flights. I hired a car. I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But if I was unemployed and I was saving for that trip, or I was on disability and I had a hard time getting around on public transport and things, it's a different situation then.
Definitely.
And it's not so nice. And I don't want to see other people left in that position.
No. Steve, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I mean, we worked out from what prices we've been told. So they took in £14,400 just on the Colditz strip alone.
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, so we're not talking a little bit. We are actually talking thousands of pounds here.
Yeah. But you see, the issue is people paid individually through PayPal, and in Ireland we have different levels of court, and basically because it's all small amounts, you're going to it's called a district court, so it's like a small claims court what you're going to.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find a way that maybe everybody can come together and bring it to a different court. Because you have your criminal court and you have your civil court. So, it's definitely the lady who who previously owned the company. She has a really great case here in Ireland. The only thing is legal fees are going to cost a lot.
Yeah.
But hopefully we can find a legal firm that will work on a no-win, no-fee basis, because the bones will be liable for all the legal costs.
Yeah.
But what happens if they just declare bankruptcy? And then nobody gets anything after everything's been done?
You see, I don't think that they've tried to shy away from Compass, but Compass was never actually registered, so they are personally liable for the costs and for the losses involved. But as I said earlier, I don't hold out much hope that anyone will get any money back. No. All we can do is do our best to make sure that they don't get the opportunity to do this to more people.
Yeah, the lady we spoke to earlier, she said pretty much the same. She said probably the best we can hope for is maybe an apology, but she can't see it.
I can't see an apology because the comment I got was that she'd like to take a chainsaw to me.
To you?
Yeah, that was one of the comments she posted on our Facebook page. So that doesn't reflect much of an apology, really, does it?
No, it doesn't.
This is a lady who owes me money.
Yeah, and basically you're getting the threats back. There's been a lot of there's been a Facebook thing, and they've been crying out witch hunt, but from what I've seen,
there isn't no witch hunt.
There isn't.
No.
Danny said that as well, didn't she?
Yeah, they're just putting the facts forward, and no one's answering them. I mean, at this point, once again, I would like to say that we have been shouting out to the Bowens to contact us, and hopefully they still will ring in on Sunday, because we do want their side of the story as well. That's not to say that you good people are wrong, but it's like to try and get a balance if you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I fully agree, and to be honest, I'd like to hear what the Bowens have to say about this, because all we've been told is lies, and when we call them on the lies, all we get is abuse, and they have their friends jumping in. Now, to be honest with you, I think maybe they owe these friends money again, and they're clinging as well, and they're clinging on to hope that they'll get it back. But really, to be attacking people who they've stolen from, it's not a mistake, it's not a misunderstanding. They've knowingly stolen from people. If Compass Paranormal was going that bad that they had to ask their employees to take out payday loans, then why were they organising more trips, and why were they taking more money from people?
Yeah.
They knew they couldn't fulfil their obligations. It's 100% fraud. They've no way out of it.
Also seems dangerous to be a friend, because I mean, that's 2 friends now we've heard of theirs, and that they've actually cheated.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So
friends like that you don't need.
No, this is it. Is there anything else you want to add to this interview, Homebird?
Basically, I'd like to thank everybody who's helped and supported this, and everybody for their input. The response we've had is really overwhelming, and the amount of support we've had. And everybody is working together for the same goal, and the goal isn't to achieve any kind of monetary refunds or anything like that. It's just for some justice. That's all we want.
Yeah.
We don't want a witch hunt. We don't want anyone slagged off. We don't want any abuse. We don't want any threats. We just want some answers as to why they stole from us and why they broke the law.
Yeah. Do you know if it's affecting the paranormal companies and groups in Ireland? Because we'll be hearing later on over here that it's already starting to affect people over in this side of the water.
Well, basically, they're very new here in Ireland. He did participate in a Paracon event not too long ago, but I've heard back from those people, they've seen what's going on. People, there's so many Facebook pages. I've been contacted by people who are living in the same community as them.
Yeah.
You know, like, word is getting around, so I don't think they're going to find it very easy to start up in Ireland.
Okay.
You know, like, basically, the exposed pages have been mostly viewed in the UK, but at this stage, we're getting messages from people back here in Ireland, and we're getting messages from people in the same town that they're living in. You know, so I can't see how they're going to start up very easily. And I hope they don't. Not with the way they've carried on in the UK.
Yeah, because there was a rumour that they were doing a cash only system.
Yeah, that's true. Janet was actually trying to set up another company in her name, and they were taking cash only payments. I have screenshots as well to prove that.
Right.
So basically, forget about Compass and everything that's over there, and all the people we've ripped off, and start off again and do the same again.
Yeah.
You know, they've no business acumen whatsoever.
No, definitely not.
And it kind of makes it more premeditated, because there's no way of tracking cash.
No.
I mean, obviously, before they were paying through banks, PayPal and stuff, it can be traced. You can prove that it was paid. But if you're just handing over cash, you can't.
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, that's the thing with PayPal. I don't mean to interrupt, but PayPal, you know the way you can ask for a refund through PayPal if you don't get the goods that you ordered or whatever. PayPal don't actually cover refunds for trips.
No.
So, like, even if you paid through PayPal, you've no comeback on it.
Right. Okay. So, you say that people in the areas that they're living in, do you actually know where they are?
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm not going to ask you to tell us.
No, I'm not going to say it for legal reasons.
No, that's fine.
I'm not going to give them the opportunity to say, okay, well, we had an unfair hearing because our location was blabbed all over the place.
No, that's fine. I wouldn't expect you to tell us.
The UK police have their address, and so do the Irish police, and that's all that matters.
That's the main people that need it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, thank you very much, Homebird, for giving us your account of this, and we look forward to finding out any further developments from you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, we're going to now take some calls, hopefully, from some other people that have been affected by it. Thank you very much. Well, that was Homebird talking to me the other day. She's been committed to her daughter this evening to go to an event, apparently. She's really gutted that she can't hear it, but I am contacting her now and again via Facebook. There was a question during that interview. I can't remember who said it, but I think it might have been Sue. In UK, you can take a group action. Wonder if it's the same in Ireland. I asked Homebird this, and she said you can for individual trips, but not everyone together. A judgment doesn't guarantee they will pay either. So I hope that answers your question anyway. Now, we're going to have another caller come to us. This is Julie. Julie's going to give us a ring. We'll take one or two more after that, and if there's anyone that wants to ring up, and then we're going to speak to Simon, who's also been affected by this, but he's come up with a possible solution. So we'll speak to him in a bit. So if there is anybody else who wants to give us a call, if you could just let me know in the chat room. But we're just waiting for Julie to ring up. Here she is now. Okay, good evening, Julie. Hold on. Are you there? Oh, try again. How's that? That's better. Hopefully everyone can hear in the chat room. She will do now. Can you speak for us, Julie?
Yeah, hi. I was actually the one that booked the manor for the group.
Oh, yeah.
For June.
Uh-huh.
I contacted Kevin myself on the 28th of April to tell him that the man had been took by courts. I'd seen it on the newspaper, online. When I contacted Kevin, he told me he didn't know the manor had been taken. A few weeks later, when all this came out about clothing, I got a screenshot that Kevin and Janet both knew on the 2nd of April that the manor had been taken, and they still continued to take money from the group that we were booked with. All in, he owes just under £700 to the group for 27 people.
That is 27 people, £100, did you just say?
Just under £700 he owes the full group.
God. And they're not going?
No, because the venue got took by the courts.
It's just mad. It's really
and Kevin acted as if he didn't know the venue had been took, where I've got the evidence. Kevin knew the manor had been took by the courts. I then contacted Linda Taylor and Guy Taylor from the manor, and was then told that Kevin had nothing to do with the manor and had never booked a manor in the first place.
Well, we're getting a lot of people in the chat room really want to know where they are. One person, I won't say who it is, but he said PM their address and I'll gladly pop over and give them a lift to the bank to get our monies out.
Kevin then, when all this was going on, Kevin told me there were a witch hunt going on. He couldn't give the refunds because all these people had a witch hunt out and they're cancelling events on them. Some of our group had joined the refund page and come back and told me to go and check the stories, and when I did, I was actually quite shocked. Kevin had made the promise we were priority, we would get the first to get refunds. It was in the hands of the solicitor. At one point he told me, and I've got the evidence, that if you how do I put this, if you booked a concert and cancelled, you wouldn't get your money back. And it works the same way with Compass. And we didn't cancel their event. He cancelled their event. No, the manor was taken, but we're still fighting to get a refund from him. I trusted Kevin. Yeah. I've seen him as a friend for years, and I never thought he would do this. He's hurt a lot of people.
I can imagine. There's quite a few friends that, Danny for one, they were friends of hers, and so
I've spoken to a lot of these people in that room, and they're normal, loving families. They work for a living, they work hard to get what they've got, and it's not a witch hunt.
No.
It's not a witch hunt.
So how much are you actually owed?
The group I was with is just under £700.
Right, okay. So,
he owes the group.
Right, so it's the group he owes.
Right,
okay. So there's £700 there. There's £1,500 for this woman in Canada. That's just two people. That's over £2,000. They've taken £200 from each person for coldits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they never really got what they were being sold. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, not just that.
Hang up. Have you got your mic up? Your computer up?
That was me, so I had to refresh the page.
Okay.
Andy!
Right.
Yeah, they sold out brand at £399. Now, I worked it out. If they took 50 people, that's just under 20 grand they took in for that event.
You can't get 50 people in Brandcastle.
Well, they took 70 to lead in Colditz.
Well, apparently it was big, but you couldn't get that many in Brandcastle.
Well, do you think that's going to stop them? And before it disappears, Ghost Whisperer said it's not just about being ripped off. This is about the stress and the anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
And my children getting upset seeing my name being abused all over Facebook.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
And no way to defend yourself.
So, no, this is the thing, Please can you point out that the £399 for Dracula's Castle and all the other events didn't happen. So there's £399 for Dracula's Castle, £200 to go to Colditz Castle. And from what I heard, Dracula's Castle was a bus trip through 7 countries.
Yeah, and we know because we checked it out how long it would take. That's 18 hours
on a coach. And that's from here. Was that from Manchester?
That's from Manchester.
Yeah.
If we went in the car, it would have took us 18 hours, and I think we said 3 tanks of petrol.
Yeah. But,
which is why we took the plane.
Which is why we took the plane. But, it's... Andy said they meant the Colditz ride at Southend on Sea. The thing is, it is the stress that's the worst thing. Don't you agree, John?
Yeah, and of course, yeah.
Sarah just said they were charging £99 for Craignos, 45 for the Skirrid, and many other events that they took money for that never happened.
I'm just mystified about the whole motivation behind this, other than just take money. But they thought they could possibly get away with all of this. It's just question their sanity, even. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that something happened that's put them in a huge financial dire straits, and they thought the only way they can make money is to rip people off in order to pay whatever bill it was, and then to run away to Ireland afterwards.
Yeah, this is it.
Ghost Whispers just said that they've known Bonnie and Clyde for years, even paid him to come on our event, so they have no scruples stealing from friends, so imagine if you were a stranger.
Well, this is it. Thank you, Julie. I'm sorry you've been affected by all this. Wolvenhart JD just said it was £54 for Bowden Manor. So that's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, okay, well, thanks very much, my love.
Thank you. Bye.
Right. Is the Viscount still on there?
Viscount, are you still there?
Yeah, if you are, can you give us an idea of what it would cost per person for Craig and us? That the castle charge, that is not what any group might charge.
It will catch up with them, Sarah. This is true. 55 quid. So
yeah,
but it's mad. It's totally and utterly mad. Now I don't know whether we've got anybody else who wants to give us a ring and tell us, you know, what they're owed as well. Is there anybody? That's all inclusive, you said. It adds up to a lot of money. Is there anybody there that wants to ring up before we go on to Simon? Just say yes or no in the chat room, or give us a call. If anyone wants to say anything.
Yeah. From everything I've heard so far, it looks like we're talking somewhere in the region of £45,000 to £50,000 they've ripped off people off for.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
It's just the question I keep coming back to: is did they think they were going to get away with this?
Yeah, this is it, John.
What's the motivation behind it? I just find that. I mean, we hear of scams on.
I was just
purely
going to say same thing as Andy, really.
Yeah, you're going to say the same thing. This is it, you know, and the mind boggles. You know, we're sitting here as paranormal investigators. As all right, I'm not for profit, your company, but it is affecting us, isn't it? You know, I mean, you've had a phone call, haven't you?
Yeah, we had a phone call about a month ago now or so, asking if we were a reputable company, and of course I said yes.
Yeah, obviously.
But
you know.
yeah, and I'm sure Nathan, who's still listening, I'm sure he's had similar calls himself.
I wonder, John, a mutual friend of ours, the guy who could probably say was the founder of these kind of events, what he makes of all of this, if he's heard anything about it. You know what I mean, John, don't you?
Yeah, of course, yeah. I've not heard from him at all.
Well, he's become very elusive these days. I've tried to contact him a couple of times, but he's beyond the pale these days. I'm not sure what he's doing anymore.
I'm not sure what the HMRC stands for. Excuse my ignorance. But they, Spirit Watcher said that they have put it to over 100k, and Mikey to
with Revenue and Customs they're called now, but I know what you mean.
But they're putting it into an over 100k.
Really?
And Sarah J said it's the stress of it all that has been horrendous for all involved, which I can understand. You know, so custom and revenue.
Yeah, taxman.
Yeah, the taxman.
Revenue called now, yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's ridiculous. Well, nobody's rung us up, so what we're going to do is we're going to contact Simon. So if Simon can come on Skype so I can call him, because it says that you're not available at the moment. So if you're listening, Simon, can you please come on Skype?
And don't forget to turn the show page down, or you get lots of feedback.
Yeah, don't forget to turn the show page down. We're going to add you to the group, Simon, so that Andy can hear you as well, so he can ask questions as well.
He says it's done.
It's done. Are you going to add this to the group or what? Call Skype.
You got to ring him first.
That's what I'm trying to do. Ah, that's better. Are you there, Simon? Oh, no, not yet. It's still ringing or doing something. Hopefully it's going to connect.
Hello, good evening.
Ah, good evening, Simon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very much indeed.
Now, you've been affected by this, haven't you?
I have, yes. Unfortunately, what happened was I met Kevin at one of the events. My group booked an event at Bowden Manor.
Right, so I'm going to stop you for a minute. Andy, can you hear him okay?
Yeah, fine, perfectly.
Right, carry on, Simon.
No problem at all. So I was booked to go to Bowden Manor through Compass Paranormal round about in December that we booked at that time. And we were told in March that we were unable to go to that event because there was a few things happening at that venue. So they said, would you like to come on our event instead on the same night? Which we accepted with some refund of the money that we'd already paid, which he did. And then through that event, he told us about the Romania trip at Brands Castle. So I decided that it was a good idea, and there's always a place where I wanted to go. So I gave him £200, and a friend of mine gave him some money as well for a deposit. And then the Colditz trip happened after that, and then that's when it all that's when it happened, when I found out that I wasn't going to get my money back. So therefore, I mean, there's been a talk between myself and a lot of people with collaboration between companies and groups, and this was a really big push for me, seeing a lot of people affected by this as well as myself. It really spurred on to get connected. And this is when I started up the British Paranormal Association, which at the moment has gone from strength to strength. I must admit, just to let you know what we're about, we're an association which is completely non-profit, run by volunteers, run by different experienced paranormal leaders and groups of companies. So we're not just members of the paranormal community. We've all had experience of running established groups. And this is sort of makes it a little bit slightly different than what other paranormal unity things that have been going on as well. What we do is we try and bring the community closer together, and also to make sure that they purchase tickets from people who are friendly and who are going to run their group legitimately. How we do that is we have a various network of people we know throughout the paranormal community, people in different areas like Kent, Midlands, and if they've heard of a group, and we sort of have a look at their domain and things like that, check their details are registered and things like that, and then they're added to our directory. So we have a directory on our website, which is www.britishparanormal.org.uk, and they can check out our members, which have all been verified. And there's groups from non-profit groups to people who run it as a company. But not only that, is when they register with us, we offer them a discount on public liability insurance. So we give something back to them. We also have templates of forms they have, like client questionnaires, disclaimers, health and safety, and a risk assessment form as well, so that they can have a look at that and get a template to create one to give to these venues as well, for them booking. So we're not just helping, obviously we're helping the consumers by having this list of verified members, but also helping the groups and companies with templates for forms and public liability insurance discounts.
Now the thing is, Simon, we've been going on about regulations in the past, that the paranormal groups sooner or later are going to be regulated. Now Viscount's asking, how do you police this? You have no authority to do anything. How would this work?
Yeah, what we'd like to state is we're not here to obviously police the community. All we're here is we're trying to create a connection that people can have a look on. And as I said, we've had a look at the people manually verify groups by checking all their details are correct, speaking to them over the phone. We also have, if a group, one of our verification team says, oh yes, I've been with that group, I've known them before. We sort of create a community like that. Obviously, it's very, very hard for us. We wouldn't be able to police the community. That's not what we're about. What we're about is giving help and advice to the groups and companies, and also having that list of people who could, the events which people run on there.
Right. Okay. Now, they're saying about this. This has been tried and tested again and again, and none have lasted more than 12 months because of infighting. But that is what you are saying, policing.
The problem you're going to have is who polices the police.
Yes.
I've been involved, as you know, this 20 odd years, and there have been several attempts to create this sort of thing, Simon, and that has been the problem. As soon as you say something that you think, oh, this perhaps they're not doing things as they should be, and they'll say to you, well, who the hell are you? What gives you the authority to tell me what to do, how to run my group, my event, my company, my business? And that's where you get stuck, unfortunately. That's why it becomes the infighting that Sue's talking about.
Yes.
I agree with what you're saying. I can understand that. And this is why we're sort of giving help and advice rather than saying that, oh no, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. By giving help and advice, we are obviously helping the groups and the companies to try and stop them from doing this. Also, with regards to people infighting and things like that, we have an example which happened quite recently last week. Was a group got event cancelled, and one of our members actually said to that group, "Come on our event, bring all your customers, everything else to our event instead, and we'll help you out by doing that." And we've also got another collaboration, which is we've got an event next year, and that is 3 British Paranormal Association groups, and we're all coming together to investigate this venue, which has not been many investigated because it's quite expensive.
Right. Now, let's just say, for instance, there's a group that somebody has got a problem with. Say, for instance, they weren't happy about the night. Yeah. You get some people that expect to have paranormal activity and they weren't getting it, and this, that, and the other, and they're a bit disgruntled that they didn't enjoy their evening and they've paid out whatever for that night, and they come to you and say, blah de blah de blah, you know, that group isn't this, that, and the other. Yeah. How do you cope with that? Will you be saying, right, in that case, if they're that bad, we're going to wipe them off, or are you going to investigate further? How would you cope with that sort of complaint?
We would investigate further with the group in question, and then obviously see what their response is. We could give advice to the consumer by, if they're really that concerned about that group, then to contact the relevant authorities such as Action, Fraud, Trade-in Standards, and authorities like that. But we would speak to, say, if it's involving one of our members, for example, then we would talk to our members and ask them about this and see what statement we get from them.
Yeah. Steve?
Yeah, I would have thought you would have advised them to go back to the company first. Because as a customer,
yes, yeah,
most all decent groups would have a way of dealing with that. It's already set up. The only time it would be a problem is if you get another group making the complaint.
Yeah. What if you get another group?
I mean, that is one of the reasons why the KTPF was set up originally.
Yes.
Because groups are backstabbing each other.
Yeah, we have had a situation quite recently where a group said things about another group on our list, and how we dealt with that was by speaking to, such as on Skype, we had a meeting with both parties involved, and we managed to separate their differences just by being an intermediary between the two. So we had one on a joint chat, and we just talked the issues through with them, each other, and we managed to resolve the situation.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break for a minute because there's a brilliant question I'm going to ask you afterwards. So if you can bear with us, I need to get these events out of the way. So if you can just bear with us, guys, okay?
No problem at all, thank you.
Right, I just want to give you these events before we finish this evening. So I just want to get them out of the way. So if you'll bear with me, have a bit of a break.
We've got all the news right here. Don't go away.
Fed up of wading through the activities and events that other advertisers include? Find just what you're looking for at paranormaleventsforyou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. Now, first off, we got Blackpool Ghost Walks that started on have already started for the summer and going through to the 26th of October. You can join Haunted Blackpool's author and founder of Supernatural Events, Stephen Mercer, on a Blackpool Ghost Walk this summer, and he will take you to some of Blackpool's most famous and of course most haunted locations. Visit www.blackpoolghostwalks.co.uk for details. On another ghost walk, Neil Arnold, the author of many books for the Haunted series, including Haunted Rochester, is conducting ghost walks within the Medway towns. Visit some of the famous haunted places of Rochester and finish at one of Kent's oldest pubs. Or you can go to the Bluebell Hill Ghost Walk with sightings of several different ghosts, mysterious stones and reports of prowling cats. To organise a private ghost walk of Haunted Rochester or Bluebell Hill, contact Neil.Arnold at live.com or telephone 0785 160 2853. And lastly, on the ghost walk scene, you can join actor and master storyteller Rob Marks as the eccentric Silas the Ghost Walker, or his fellow ghost walkers Jasper and Ebenezer, for a 70-minute walk along Brighton's famous lanes, visiting 8 haunted sites. For more information on prices, etc., visit www.ghostwalkbrighton.co.uk. Now, on the 13th of September, Sinai Ghost Hunt in Burton-on-Trent. Take the 4-hour ghost hunt with something a little different. Hear the ghost stories and history of Sinai, but also hear about the paranormal activity that have taken place to those before you. Book your tickets at www.burtonghostandhistorywalks.co.uk. Also on the 13th of September, Pennyland Hall, Wrexham. This location is not generally open to the public. This outstanding stately home's history dates back to the 17th century, but what other past mysteries does Pennyland Hall hold? For more details on this venue and other events, visit us at shadowseekers.co.uk. On the 14th of September, Psychic Evening with Steve Holbrook. Doors open 6:45 p.m. with refreshments available before event and during interval. Tickets are limited and can be booked by calling or texting 077891 76256 or emailing walkeringhamvillagehall@yahoo.co.uk. 20th of September, a psychic skills workshop on investigation practice. Fort Halstead, Primrose Close, Chatham, Kent. This interactive course is designed significantly for those who are interested in developing and using their psychic abilities on paranormal investigations or ghost hunts. For more information and details, go to www.danielmcdonald.co.uk, and I believe you can use your skills afterwards on a ghost hunt. 24th of September, Psychic Supper in Ashford in Kent at the BRSA Railway Club. Come and join us for an evening of psychic and clairvoyant entertainment, including a 15-minute reading per person, inspirational talks and a supper at your table. Readers include Tracy Founts, Anna Pearson, Susie Edwards, Tarot Tracy, Kay Best and Maria Wilkinson. For more details, visit Spirit Divine at www.spiritdivine.co.uk. On the 26th of September, Charlton House, London. Charlton House is a notoriously haunted mansion built during the reign of James I. Charlton House is the finest and best preserved Jacobean mansion in London. For more information, visit Haunted Places Paranormal Investigations at www.hauntedplacesparanormal.co.uk. On the 25th of September, join Club Zero for another evening of paranormal intrigue where you can review and book investigations. There will be the occasional guest speakers and tarot readings and much, much more. So join them and immerse yourself in the world of the paranormal. For more details, visit www.clubzeroparanormal.co.uk. Also, on the 27th of September, you can go to Hack Green Nuclear Bunker with Club Zero Paranormal and find out about this fantastic location as they delve into the long, dark, looming corridors that lead to mysterious suspense and intrigue. For more information, visit www.clubzeroparanormal.co.uk. On the 27th of September, Middleton Hall, Tamworth. Tamworth, includes platform reading from guest medium and midnight buffet. Book today at www.personalparanormal.co.uk. And lastly, do you fancy an evening of mediumship with one of the country's most well-known and respected mediums? Derek Acora's 2014 Enlightenment Tour continues, and he will be appearing near you. To find out if he's appearing near you, check out his website at derekacora.com. See British clairvoyant and medium from London and best known as Living TV's street psychic Tony Stockwell live on tour. For more information, visit Tony Stockwell's website at tonystockwell.com and click on the events. And lastly, Colin Fry's Voices from Heaven Tour 2014. Join Living TV's psychic medium Colin Fry for an evening of clairvoyance. Colin continues his countrywide tour of the UK. For more information, visit www.colinfry.co.uk. Paranormal Events for You supports quality events. If at any time a company attracts negative press through their own actions and fail to immediately deal with the situation in favour of the greater mass, i.e. the public, then Paranormal Events for You reserves the right to remove any mention of that company from their publications. So check out the one-stop paranormal directory for more investigations and events, available now. ParanormalEventsForYou.com also offers banner advertising for only £10 per year. See our website for more details. ParanormalEventsForYou.com, your one-stop paranormal directory. Yeah, welcome back to the show, and that's the events coming up for September, which starts tomorrow. Yes, dear.
Just thought, has anyone spoken to Tim at Peaks? If anyone knows the legal situation he's going to, he's a big Blake's policeman.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't spoken to him.
I'm afraid of the obvious person, really.
Yeah, I suppose he is, really. I could have a word with him and see what he thinks. But I didn't think about contacting him for this show, to be honest with you. So I was just thinking about the people that were coming on to talk about what's happened.
Yeah.
But I understand what you're saying. He would have been the best person to talk to. Don't forget, if you want to advertise your events, as I said, you can go to paranormaleventsforyou.com, and it is free. All you've got to remember is don't put the price, just put your website for people to come along and have a look at your events. Remember, collaboration, not competition. Okay, so we've got Simon with us still, and I'm going to find that question that I saw. Hopefully, I'll remember what it was. The question is on the subject of tonight's show. Are you there, Simon?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
On the subject of tonight's show. Now, just supposing somebody had come to you and said, this has happened, okay, how would you have coped with it? What would you have done?
I would, as mentioned earlier, I would ask them to go back to the company, first of all, to see what they had to say. If they were still not satisfied with their response, then I would ask them to contact the relevant authorities. It would be noted by us. We wouldn't go about naming and shaming groups because it's not in our remit to do that.
No.
What we would do is we would just keep an eye on it and just monitor it from afar to see how the situation goes. If need be, we would contact the relevant authorities. I have actually a contact with Action Fraud who responded on my inquiry and said if there's any advice that we need, we could contact them. So we do have a contact at Action Fraud if we need to speak to them, if we feel it's getting out of hand.
And let's just remind everyone, you've not just done this just because you wanted to. You were actually affected yourself. How much do they owe you?
£200.
£200. And what was that for?
For the Brands Castle deposits, and a friend of mine who's on the committee team at BPA has also been affected.
You would have been there this weekend, wouldn't you?
I would have done, yes. It was a friend of mine who's the vice president. He runs another group, and he was affected by losing £50 as well on the same event. So That is why we decided. It wasn't obviously the only reason. We were looking at collaboration for a long time.
Yeah.
But it was the final push for us seeing so many people affected, as including ourselves.
Okay.
I saw a question actually on the chat room that said, oh, there was another one like the BPA tried to do it a few years ago, and they tried charge memberships. Just like to state that we do not charge membership for our group at all, for our association.
Are you yourself involved in any group or organisation apart from BPA?
I am, yes. I do run a group, non-profit group myself, but do not advertise that through the BPA.
What you're probably going to find is people are going to say exactly that. Well, you get your own group, therefore you're going to be biased against mine or whatever. I've seen this. I mean, I'm not trying to sort of show off, but I've been involved in this business a long time, and that is a problem. If you genuinely be taken seriously as some kind of body in the form you want to be, you've got to resign from involvement in any group. Maybe go out on investigations with another group, but you yourself have to not be involved in groups because you will be seen as that's the only way you'll be seen as unbiased. The only way you'll be taken completely seriously. Otherwise, people will throw at you. Well, you've got your group. You do things your way. Don't tell me how to do my things. And I know you'll say you don't want to do that. That's how it's going to come across.
I understand. And on our committee team, we have a range of people from commercial events companies and also non-profit organisations as well.
Yeah, but I'd say as the person who's overall in charge, you need to be not involved in anything yourself directly. It's just an advice.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem at all. I mean, I could always, if I feel that this is getting, I can hand my group over to someone else.
Yeah. But that's it, to be seen completely unbiased.
I fully understand, Andy, and I'm quite prepared for the British Paranormal Association to actually hand my leadership over to someone else. Quite happy to do so.
Sure. As I was saying earlier on, I mean, we're sort of typing rather than talking to Sue was doing the events, that as a former psychotherapist, this is really what happened in my profession. One organisation was quite big and a lot of people joined it, and then a few people didn't agree with the way it was being run, went off and formed their own organisation, and there's two organisations. The government tried to regulate psychotherapy a few years ago. They turned to two organisations, each one hates the other one, and they couldn't agree on any kind of terms. The government eventually said, well, forget it, it's not going to work. And that was like psychotherapy before you sort of big profession. So trying to get one group to agree with everything with everybody else is always a nightmare.
Yeah, I understand. We offer help and advice, and this is why we don't say, "Oh, you must do this" or "You must do that." We say, "This is the way it could be done. This is the forms you can use if we have templates if you could use." So it's the sort of thing to do.
Yeah, and that's useful for anybody, particularly who wants to sort of set something up themselves and don't really know how to go about it. Those kind of pro formas would be very useful.
Okay, John, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I do think it's a nice idea, and I applaud Simon for his idea and his hard work as well. Because it will take a lot of hard work, wouldn't it?
Yes, it will
to do what it's doing. For me, though, I tend to keep myself to myself.
Yes, I know you do.
To try and give myself the best of reputation as I can.
Yeah.
And for me, that works that way. To be honest with you.
Yeah, this is it. Steve, what was you going to say?
I was going to say that there is on the KTPF forum. There is a lot of helpful information on there for groups and that as well.
So, but it's been a very eye-opening interaction tonight. I must admit, don't you, John?
Yeah, I do indeed. Yeah.
It's a story that I never ever wanted to hear in the paranormal world, and it has rocked the industry. I don't care what anybody says, it has done. Even if it's just a few people that it's affected personally, people out there do know about it, and they must have their own thoughts about it, But
well, it is going to make people think.
Yeah.
Like, shall I go on this event?
Well, this is it.
Am I going to lose my money and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I think it's anything that involves money. Sooner or later, someone's going to come along who's either unintentionally or directly intentionally a rip-off merchant. People can come with the best intentions, but things start to go wrong. Rather than hold their hands and say, "Hey guys, we ran out of our heads here. We shouldn't be doing this. We've lost the plot." They're just going to carry on and think, "Well, okay, we'll just pocket it."
The fact that they carried on and I still can't get over the fact that they took them all to Colditz and there wasn't an event in the first place.
It's almost like they're in a kind of parallel universe. You think if they're going to turn up en masse, they're going to say, "Oh, okay, we'll let you in. Don't worry, guys. We'll let you in. There's too many of you. We're not going to argue."
So, but no, it is really. Is there anything else you want to tell us, Simon?
That's it. Thank you very much indeed for having me on your show. Just like to say the web address again is www.britishparanormal.org.uk.
Okay.
And just to let you know, I do not get paid. I'm just a volunteer.
Right. Well, best of luck with it anyway, Simon.
Thank you very much indeed, and we'll always keep in touch with the KTPF.
Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night, Simon.
So basically, that's it in a nutshell, really. This group this company's gone out and they've taken a reputation of 4 years and killed it in less than 6 months.
Yeah, and ripped people off thousands and thousands of pounds.
I also want to stipulate that Denise Mott and Richard Mott are no longer anything to do with Compass since September 2013. Any event that has gone wrong since September 2013 has nothing to do with Denise or Richard Mott. So please, please, please do not contact them for any refund. Okay? The people that you need to go to are the people that took over, which is Kevin and Janet Bowen. Now, as I said at the top of the show, I had to be neutral on this, but the stories I've heard tonight, even Andy himself, he was going to be a devil's advocate, and he's tried so hard, haven't you, Andy?
Absolutely. I wanted to try and put across some kind of sense of, well, maybe something's gone wrong in their personal lives, but that's blatant rip-off. There's no two ways about that. I think that the best I could possibly say was they did realise they were in over their heads, but rather than try and back out, they thought they'd try and muddle their way through somehow, and it just got out of hand.
Even you, John, you said you couldn't be neutral on this, didn't you? Really?
No, I couldn't. I mean, how can you be after all those people lost that
money? This is it.
Yeah. And like I said, it was no event to go to anyway.
No, and they have got screenshots. They've got proof about all the abuse and everything. So all I can say is, whatever the outcome, I just wish everybody out there the best of luck, and I hope they get some sort of resolve from this. Maybe not from the Bowens, but hopefully something will come along and make everything worthwhile. So
may not be popular, but can I also say at this time, if the Bowens hear this and they want to put their point forward,
yes,
contact us. We will allow you to do so, as long as you keep it civil.
Yes. At the end of the day, we have heard the side of those that have been affected, that have been basically cheated, for want of a better word, out of their money, out of everything. And as far as I'm concerned, if the Bowens are out there, even if they're listening to this, whether it be tonight, Sunday the 31st of August, or on the replay, please will you contact us at admin@ktpf.co.uk, and we will willingly have you on the show to tell us your side of the story. Okay, and we will ask you questions about how this all went wrong. So, so if you are out there and you would like to come forward, just contact me. There's nothing really more I can say. Some people have actually thought that they might be listening tonight, and maybe they are. They must know about it, because there's a thought that they do monitor the Facebook page, isn't there, Steve?
Yes, it's well, they've kind of proved it does, because things come back via them that's actually happened on the Facebook page. They've even had all their friends actually complain and have the page taken down several times, and it keeps going back up again.
And Ghost Whisperer there has said that, because from what I read earlier, she started the page originally or something, but she said they've worked for other groups, other companies. They have, both Janet and Kevin have worked for other companies. They have experience. In my mind, with the proof we've got, they set out to scam a lot of people. So on that note, as I say, I wish everyone the best of luck, and I hope it doesn't happen again in the paranormal industry. And if you are a customer or a member that's thinking about going on another investigation or your first investigation, please do not tar us all with the same brush. Most of these people that have been scammed are from other groups and companies, from what I can see here. So, you know, just because they're part of another group or company, they are still part of the general public. And so they're just like you. They're willing to go on other groups, other investigations. So I hope you do. Gray's Encounter said, "Keep it real, keep it paranormal. Only way forward. Let's chat paranormal from now on." Great show, folks. Thank you very much, and I hope we've put our little bit in to help you as well.
Yeah, and if anybody's missed it will be on the replay.
Yeah.
So if you've missed bits through your internet or whatever, it will be on our replay YouTube channel.
Yeah.
For everybody to listen to.
Yeah. I'd like to thank Homebird and Danny for giving their interviews, Denise Mott for giving us her statement, and those that called in, Julie, Charmaine, Simon as well, and thank you for putting your input into the show. We can't do this show without you, so all I can say is please remember that if you are a paranormal group and you fancy having a night via Skype on the show to talk about yourself, please contact me as well, because we're always looking for groups to come on and tell us a bit about themselves. That's not a problem. You're always welcome. That's what it's all about.
And Ghost Whispers just said thanks for the show. It just goes to show to the rest that we're not troublemakers and not on a witch hunt.
No, that's it. Definitely. So, any last words, John? I think you're flummoxed, didn't you?
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, and
we knew that it happened, but we just didn't know the ins and outs of it, and I think it's shocked us more than anything, hasn't it? Really.
Yeah, indeed, and just like you said, because thanks to all those people out there who on the show tonight.
Yeah.
And
so
I just hope this sum was all for them.
Yeah. So thank you, Andy, for trying to be our mediator.
Oh, I did my best.
It's hard though, isn't it?
To be honest, beyond the pale, some of this stuff really is.
It is.
Saying the best one in the world, I was hoping that perhaps you could come across some kind of explanation of got themselves in too deep, but no, some of this is just blatantly ripping people off.
Yeah.
The coldest thing is like that's the icing on the cake. They knew they hadn't booked it, and yet they actually took people out there. That's what I find incredible.
Yeah.
It's like if you know you haven't booked somebody, but you know that you've got people going, you don't take them out there.
No.
It's just incredible.
So Julie's just said thank you for the show and giving us all a chance to give our side. It's not a problem. As Steve just said, you're welcome, Julie. Everyone's welcome. That's what we're all here for. It's paranormal, it's news, so it had to be said.
And Andy, can you give Gray's Encounter a ring, please?
Yes.
I've no idea who Gray's Encounter is.
I don't know, but he's put his number on the chat room for you.
Oh.
Okay. And John's coming back in November, aren't you, to talk about the
Anguish Man again?
Anguish Man.
Oh my God.
For those of you who don't know about this, it's a painting that's said to be haunted.
Said to be haunted?
It is amazing.
And we're going to have it back in here, are we?
We're going to bring it in the studio.
Again.
And you can meet him for the second time.
Oh,
Bless you, Andy.
Bless you, Andy.
And before you go, what are you doing at the present time, Phil?
In terms of events?
In terms of events and other things on your agenda.
Things that go bump in the night.
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, coming up next week, do you want to go through a few
Yeah,
events?
go on. Why not? I've already given out some of them. I'm not prepared for this.
So, one sec for me. Okay.
Need to get them updated on the paranormal events.
Do you know? I never do it, do I?
I know you don't. So
anyway, give you a quick rundown. Starting with next week, what I tend to like to do from time to time is that I love doing development workshops.
Yeah.
And what we do is a development workshop, and we give people a chance to do a little mini ghost hunt at the end. So we got one next week, which is at the Station Hotel in Dudley.
Ooh.
Then, which will be, what date is that? That's the 5th of September, isn't it?
It's Friday.
Yeah, Friday. It's going to be good. And then we got another development workshop then, which is at the Red Lion in Pontefract.
Yeah.
This is the one I mentioned to you a while ago.
Okay.
Amazing place. It's got 2 derelict floors.
Yeah, I've not been there for years.
It's got a function room to die for.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's on the 7th of September, which is a Sunday night.
Uh-huh.
Going forward, one location that people, for some reason, don't go to a lot. Well, we always struggle to sell it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing, amazing location, which is a North East Aircraft Museum.
All right.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't.
It is so active. It is absolutely amazing. So that is on the 20th of September.
Uh-huh.
And then we go into a local one, which is, not too far away anyway, which is Mill Street Barracks in St. Helens.
St. Helens, yeah.
That's on the 28th of September, and we've got your buddy there, the Irishman.
Oh, right, okay.
So actually, are you doing anything on 20th of September?
I don't think so.
26th, sorry.
No,
September.
I don't think so.
Do you fancy coming down?
I'll have a check on my diary. Is it a Saturday?
It isn't Friday.
It's a Friday.
Friday.
I just thought I'm doing 27th, 28th, so I won't be able to. Sorry.
And then we're heading far north to Chillingham Castle on the 27th of September. Again, it's going to be the Irishman live experiment.
Yeah. Okay.
What we do there, we're quite cool on that particular night. We give people a chance to do a lone vigil, which is in a dungeon with the Irishman.
Okay.
Actually, just a quick one. We had this guy on last week's event. He came to the event. He was a complete skeptic.
Yeah.
Okay. It was at Woodchester Mansion, and we give him a chance to actually have 10 minutes on his own in the cellar. And he said, "Well, what do we do?" I said, "Well, just try and talk to him." So he spoke, and I went down to see him after 10 minutes, and he said, "Oh my God!" And I said, "Why? What's up?" He said, "Well, I could see the painter's mouth moving in the dark, and I turned my light on."
Yeah.
And he said the mouth was moving in response to his questions, really. And he said he turned the torch on, and the mouth was still moving. So, and he's converted skeptic. We always like one of them, don't we?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that's all your September ones,
That's
is
the
it?
September one.
Right. And Andy, you're coming back on the show soon, aren't you? We'll have to sort a date out with you.
Yeah. Probably offer it to half term, I expect now.
Okay. Well, thanks again, guys. And don't forget, if you're listening still,
this is where it's at.
We'll be here every Sunday.
Haggis has said, where was it again on the 26th?
The 26th is forgotten already. Mill Street Barracks.
Mill Street Barracks, and it's Mysteria Paranormal. So this is where it's at. And until next time, all that's left to say is, come on, John, Andy, join in with us. Is keep the paranormal friendly. Good night, guys.
Night, guys.
To see in the night, to measure the spike, to see how cold it's been. I buy my kit so I won't forget the ghosties that I have seen. To see in the night, to measure the spike, to see how cold it's been. I buy my kit so I won't forget the ghosties that I have seen. The Paranormal Intelligence Gathering Services Ghost Store. So visit www.the-pigs.co.uk/Ghost Store.